Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO. Welcome to the first episode of Rivals Rumble of the season, people. We couldn't do it the other day. I'm not muted, am I? Everyone can hear me well. Alhamdulillah. Big up everyone that joined us. Hit that like button, people. Hit that like button if you joined, because this is going to be saucy. Arsenal, amazing game today by Arsenal. Composed, very good win today for Arsenal. Arsenal look like they are the champions to be this season, but we still have to wait for Chelsea and Manchester City tomorrow, of course, to see how City will play without Rodri. Manchester United win under Ten Hag. Xerxes cooking, of course, yesterday was a fantastic and a great goal by Xerxes, but otherwise Man United look like they're the old Manchester United. But people want to tell me that Man United have changed. They're a different team now. They're great. And Liverpool, shit first half. One of the weirdest halves I've seen from Liverpool, to be honest. Second half, they picked up, and Mohamed Salah comes clutch again. 9 seasons where the guy scores in the opening game. No one has ever done that in the history of the Premier League. The guy is just from a different world. Everyone that's saying Mohamed Salah is finished, you are finished. Mohamed Salah is different class. We'll be joined by Cheslea and well, but I'm here with a fantastic and a great panel. Of course, we'll talk about Chelsea, of course, and Manchester City tomorrow, because I think Chelsea are in for the win tomorrow. Chelsea are in for the win. But listen, hit that like button. Over 400 people joining us now. Hit that like button if you just joined us now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We need to get to 500 likes here. And if you're watching this on the replay, like the video. How is everyone wants to banter Inter? We already bantered Inter on MHF. We drew 2-2. We're still winning the league. We're the best team in our league. Moving on from Inter now. We're here to talk about the Premier League. You can banter me tomorrow on the stream. Listen, how's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? Let me start by Ahmed.
3 points.
How are you feeling, Ahmed? You're the first team to play in the Premier League. It's only fair to go to you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start with United?
No. I want to start with you. How are you feeling? How are you doing? We're going to start with
Listen,
Liverpool.
Listen, alhamdulillah, listen, I'm always good, man. I'm always good. Good to be here. Happy to be here. But in terms of how I am when it comes to Man United, bro, listen, we got the 3 points here, but flipping hell, we made that look difficult. That's why, for me personally, you know, when you see people getting a bit excited because it's new season, like new season hype, I was like, bro, let me just stand off a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to get sucked in. Yeah, and bro, it turns to be like the thing is, we did win. However, it wasn't really convincing. And like, if you look at the chances that we created, because loads of people said, look at our XG, we created loads of chances, but most of the chances we created was down to Fulham making the mistakes. That's the problem.
We'll come to the Man United game. We'll come to the Man United game.
Yeah.
Second team, Mike. Welcome back to the channel, number one. Mike, glad to have you back. How are you feeling? You good? Win today?
Listen, I'm tired. I stayed up all night because that was a 4:30 a.m. kickoff. If you live over here on the West Coast. So, and I went to go see Deadpool last night. So it was either I sleep for 2 hours or I just suck it up and I stay up the whole night. And then I fall asleep.
It's a good film.
So I wasn't able, unfortunately, Martin, I wasn't able to watch Arsenal because I was dead asleep. But I mean, listen, I'm happy, you know, like I'm not here to talk about FSG. I'm not here to talk about all like the drama. I'm not here to talk about the bullshit. It's about the game today. And it was a tale of two halves, and every correction that needed to be made from the first half to the second was made. And that's what you want to see out of a coach. And it was the first half of football for Arne Slot, right? So it's like this is the first half under a new manager against a newly promoted team that's very organized, that scored 92 goals in the championship last season, that was pressing with 6 men. And you made every adjustment. You made every adjustment, and they really only had 2 chances. If you're just going to be objective, 2 opportunities. So I'm happy. I'm just telling.
And the 2 Arsenal fans before we go on to 2 Arsenal fans.
Yeah, we're chilling. 3 points. I'm happy. You know, but I had the same problem as Mike. Games. I couldn't watch most of the Liverpool game because it was at 4:30, so I woke up at 5:30, and then just been napping during the day, trying to like catch up on sleep after watching too much football. But yeah, we did all right. How about you all?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I was being a grown up doing some DIY whilst watching the game, you know, romance stuff. But I'll tell you what. Before we start, though, I mean, I want everyone to just give a round of applause and a big congrats, okay, to Man United Ahmed, because finally I don't get to call you -1 anymore. You're now +1. Now +1.
That's poor maths, Ollie. It's 0.
That's even, yeah.
That's killing me, bro.
No, they scored 1 goal yesterday, so they've now got +1 on the board. So yeah, from now on, you are now +1.
You can just call him 0 in it because he still remember he owned the league last season. So it's -1 +1 is still 0. You know what I mean?
I tried.
Listen, when Chelsea lose tomorrow, we'll see how many points you guys are on in it. We'll see
how are the Chelsea guys feeling? Before we go on to the game, we're going to discuss Liverpool first. How are you guys feeling about tomorrow? No Rodri, no Oscar Bob. Looks like it's set up for Chelsea to win. We're talking details about the game. You guys are going to do the job? Yes or no tomorrow?
I mean, no, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Really.
Come on, don't sit on the fence, man.
No. I think again. No. It's not like gonna be.
It's
not even like being a fencer. It's just because again, new system. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff. It's gonna listen, man.
No, not even that. Most teams on this panel,
yes,
no team here is covered being City away from home or at home. So
yeah, man.
Without Rodri, come on.
Hold on. If Arsenal are playing City tomorrow with no Rodri,
are we Arsenal?
No, but you have a very good players now.
So we're compared to Arsenal now, yeah?
Hold on, you shouldn't. I am. Listen, did you watch my video? I am literally back. And I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, let's start with. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's start with Liverpool before we go on to the Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City stuff. Let's start with Liverpool because Mike is not going to be here.
Mo, the Wi-Fi is moving a bit.
Really?
You're lagging a little bit.
It's just ever so slightly on
tiny
the.
bit. It's not a lot. It's just
Little
chunky.
bit, little bit.
Okay,
little bit,
I'm
little bit.
gonna. You start with Liverpool. I'm gonna connect to another router. Okay.
Mhm.
Go
All
ahead.
right, sweet.
All right. I mean, okay, Liverpool. I'll keep it. I'll keep it generally brief. I don't want to bore anybody. Listen, first half of that game, Ipswich were pressing with 6 men. Liverpool had a really difficult time dealing with the press. They had a couple of chances. I forget the guy's name. Maybe it's Hutchinson. The first one, Kwanzaa
Hutchinson,
blocked it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kwanzaa blocks the first one, right? Like that's a very standard play. Many teams have a defender back there who makes that block. Kwanzaa's a quality center back. The second one came off of a counterattack from a corner. McAllister was dispossessed. That could have happened to anyone. Ipswich just did really good to get men up the field quick. But again, like we're talking about Ipswich, right? Like the quality at the front, I would say that with the amount of chances that we conceded today in the first half, it would have taken a team like Arsenal or City to really punish us. You would have needed true quality at the front of the pitch in order to put those kind of counterattacks away. It's much different from what we saw last season. My biggest gripe the whole first half was just how stagnant everyone was off the ball. And, just in possession, we looked very lethargic. There was a lack of energy. There was a lack of movement. And we found ourselves passing our way into mistakes. And the long ball wasn't looking good, right? Because of the fact that we couldn't, create those first couple passes. But once halftime hit, right, we come out the second half and literally everything changed, which I think is a huge positive. Plus, I also like when I look at Arnie on the touch line, I don't know, like I'm just excited. And we come out in the second half, everything's more fluid, players are moving better, the long balls are working because the midfield buildup is better. And then all of a sudden, a world-class ball from Trent, boom, it's 1-0. And then, a great little shimmy in by Szoboszlai, and Mohamed Salah makes it 2-0. And then, it could have been 3-4, 5-0 if Luis Diaz wasn't the worst left wing in the league. Anthony's just going to have to hold that because Luis Diaz has that new crown. But I mean, outside of that, like I think it was an exciting first game under Arne Slot. It's a win. It's a 2-0 win away at a newly promoted side, which we never do well in. When if you look at Klopp's record, I think that we had one of the worst when it comes to the bottom 3 teams, and then couple that with, just Fulham away 2 years ago. That's what comes to my head the fastest. But the only negative here is I think that it only solidifies that we really do need a defensive-minded midfielder. We need center back coverage. If we can get those 2 players, I can see us contending. But if you don't sign anyone, the biggest concern for me is that you're showing a lack of ambition. If we get those 2 players, if we get a defensive-minded midfielder and a center back, I think that our depth and rotation will be good enough for the Premier League. I just don't think. I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but the very final thought I was going to give is my only concern right now is a lack of signings. Like when it comes to the league, I think top 4 we can still make it right now, but a lack of signings tells Mo, Van Dijk, and Trent that the club doesn't want to win trophies. Therefore, why would you re-sign here? And if I were Trent,
I already knew that, bro.
Listen, I'm just stating the facts.
Hold on, you think that the club doesn't want to win trophies, Ches?
What kind of questions are? Of course they don't.
They
made no signings. Mo, they made 2 or 0 signings after they won the Champions League. Like,
yeah, but they got a pretty complete-ish squad. Like, can I ask Mike a question?
Really,
I feel like in the first half, you guys tried to play out from the back a lot more than normal, right? And it felt like Ipswich were boxing you in a little bit. And I'd expected like a 3-0 halftime score. So to get 0-0 was a bit surprising. But in the second half, it felt like you went back to just what works and getting it long early and capitalizing on those sort of getting them on the back foot type chances. Do you feel like there's a big difference between slot ball and Klopp ball yet? Or is it feels like so close?
I think it's a little early. I think that, listen, to be honest with you, I don't think that Liverpool looked a little bit shocked for the first 15 minutes. I don't think that they expected Ipswich to press the way that they did. And they were really aggressive. They were pressing with 6 men, right? Like that's very tough to deal with, especially if you have 2 offensive-minded players in your double pivot. And when you have Szoboszlai literally playing as a 9 rather than the 10 and not dropping back into midfield, that's one less outlet. So you're going to look bad because you have to continuously kick the ball back to Allison, which doesn't look good, right? Like that looks like bad football. It might not be bad football, but it's terrible on the eye. In the second half, all of a sudden the midfield starts dropping deeper. Soboslai starts dropping deeper. There's more outlets, which then frees up the long ball, right? Because if I can get the from the back line to the midfield, if I can get the ball there, it's a much more direct pass that I can put in behind, which is what you saw from Trent, right? Like the first goal, it was build up, all of a sudden Trent's in space, one pass, gone.
Yeah.
Trent to Mo, back to Trent, boom, in behind. So like I see some similarities in the sense that he's content with being slow, but also at the same time, I think that our buildup is quicker when we look good. Like in the second half, the buildup was lightning quick, and Ipswich just couldn't deal with it. And we created 5, 6, 7 chances. That could have been 4-0. I mean, Bradley had a one-on-one. Luis Diaz had like 2 or 3 one-on-ones. This could have been a complete blowout in the second half. So there's similarities.
Think that this Liverpool team might not finish top 4 with no signings? Anyone think that? Anyone think that Liverpool can finish outside of the top 4 without signings? Or do we still think that there's that
as long as they've got Mo Salah, I'm sorry, I cannot count them out. It's the same thing as like he's just inevitable. That's the thing, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down. And so, as long as Liverpool got Mo Salah, they've always got a chance to finish in the top 4 or even challenge for the league. I think this sort of idea that Liverpool are going to not be as good as they were last season isn't quite true. Listen, my biggest issue, like last year, was that I said Liverpool changed 3 midfielders, and no one ever changes 3 midfielders, 3 core midfielders, and play as well. But they played above the level I thought they were going to play last year. And one season more together, I know there's a new manager, there's a new system, and old habits die hard. And I think, like you said, the second half was probably closer to what Klopp played, but that's because he's only had him for 6 weeks. I just still think that Liverpool got enough quality, even without signings right now, to make the top 4 and to even be staying thereabouts, because some of the players they have are just inevitable. Trent, inevitable. Salah, inevitable. And even Jota himself is inevitable.
No, I'll tell you, I think the variable is dependent for me on the competition for it rather than the actual
Liverpool themselves.
Yes, so I think
this is a good point.
Yes, I think that if you factor in a new manager, which you're saying, you're making it seem very seamless, like very easy transition. It's been one game, so of course Michael say second half improved. Well, you need to see it over a bigger stretch.
Of course,
I think it's a correct assumption to say when there's a new manager, there's a drop off. It would be 10%, 50%. There's a drop off. That's what history tells us, right? So
can I counter that though when you're done?
No, let me just say overall, and then you can count the whole thing. So my thing would be, it depends on how Spurs, Chelsea, Villa, all these teams do in the next 2 weeks and how they perform to determine whether Liverpool will still sustain the same level under Klopp, because they were challenging for a league. They knew he was leaving. The players in their prime. The context now is a little bit different. Whereas a new manager, bit of like not upheaval, but not a lot of people not happy. Squad might not be happy. Trent might not say it, but he definitely feels it. So we don't really know how they're going to perform in the long run. Whereas if we look at the competition for the teams, if Chelsea improve tomorrow, if Aston
but everyone is strengthening, my chest. Everyone is strengthening around.
If everyone strengthens, then inevitably.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
How? What?
It's debatable.
Just Chelsea.
We have to.
How is it debatable?
City has barely strengthened. City has lost more players than they have brought in, and Arsenal have different arguments.
Are you in competition? Okay. Are you in competition with City or the top 4? I want to just establish a baseline.
No. Listen, the point that I was going to make is that I hear what everyone's saying. I don't think that any cracks are going to arise until October, when we're dealing with 3 games a week. But you have to remember that if you look at the table last season, right, there was 9 points that separated Liverpool from Manchester City, and then there was 14 points that separated Liverpool from Aston Villa, and then from Aston Villa to the 8th place team, I believe there was 6 points, right? So currently, based on last season, you had 6 teams fighting within 6 points and then a 14-point gap. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Liverpool would be 14 points worse, I mean, I'll listen to your argument, but I with the same squad, I don't see how we can be 14 points worse than we were last season. And then you have to say, well, how many points better are all those other teams going to be? And I don't know if those teams, if any of them, are 14 points better from last season, and that's just based on the results. So
I agree.
Wait,
You're talking about third place, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
No,
Third to fourth was 14 points.
That's
So
what
I'm talking about top four.
Mike's agreeing with you. He's agreeing with your notion that it's seamless. He can't see a drop off. To me,
14 points now.
No, that's what I say. That Ollie was saying the same thing. To me, history will tell you that's incorrect, factually incorrect. By the way, not me feeling, not a feeling based emotion.
Can I ask a question, Ches?
Yeah, go on.
Can I ask a question? And Ches and Mike, because this is two on the discussion. Welcome, how much was that 6 points between Liverpool and Man City were down to Jurgen Klopp as a coach?
The 9, a lot.
Oh, 100%, a lot.
Because so why are we assuming that Liverpool, because the players are there, but the manager has changed, and we have only seen Arne Slot managing preseason. That's the only sample we have, and we have seen him, and we have seen him in the first half today, not look good. Second half he fixed up, which is credit to him. So we're assuming that Liverpool will just drop a little bit.
I just think that they're like a smooth running engine.
Are you
if you don't change anything, it'll just keep operating.
I think it's a very big unknown. Arne Slot, how in the long run?
I'm agreeing with you, man. I'm saying what you're
very
saying.
Long. Yeah. He looks fantastic in preseason, absolutely immense in preseason. Comes the first game of the Premier League, playing Ipswich Town, one of the weakest teams in the league on paper. They have no Premier League players. They have zero guys. This Ipswich, and that's not banter. Liverpool, Ipswich, they don't have one Premier League level player. One. The whole combined guys. They said, hold on. They said it today on NBC. I was watching NBC, and they said it. They actually did the numbers. They have 31 games combined in top flight. 31 games combined. The whole team.
Yeah, but I'll say
this. I mean, this team is still a championship level with a championship level manager, and he looked in the first half like McKenna is getting the best half. I'm not here discrediting Arne Slot for the second half, but you are not going to get away with it every game. It's Ipswich Town.
Yeah, that's why I questioned.
But it wasn't that bad.
It was between me and Mike, innit? So
it was horrific.
Yeah,
it was horrific, Mike.
Liverpool were more poor than Ipswich were good. That's the argument that I will make.
Well, yeah, exactly. So when Olu and you were saying to me that, I get your point, by the way, that you can't imagine your team drop off that far where the other teams gain and you lose out. But my thing is, you're making it sound like it's going to be seamless. So is Olu. Like, oh, well, the people drop off. Maybe, like, for me, you said Liverpool inevitable. They finished 5th with Mo Salah.
No, I said the players are inevitable. I said the players are inevitable. What I'm saying is this, right? If you have world-class players like Mo Salah, you have Trent, you have Alisson, you have Van Dijk, those players inevitable in terms of they can drag games which you think they're going to lose into victories or into draws, right? So when I say they're inevitable, I'm not saying that as a team they're better. And also I think to is it Mike's point about basically the other teams, I don't think the other teams have closed that much of a gap in terms of quality to Liverpool's quality,
based
right?
Off what, sorry?
Just based on the signings, I don't think Aston Villa is as good as Liverpool.
So hold on. So if they get Osimhen tomorrow, which is very likely that we wake up tomorrow, Lukaku to Napoli.
I said Villa. I didn't say Chelsea.
You aren't counting Chelsea at all.
No. I just started with Villa. I didn't say Chelsea. So that's part Osimhen. But also one more thing as well. I was going to say. I mean, when we talk about history, right, and using history to explain what happens when great managers leave, I agree with you on that point. But you also have to take the context of what happened when Arsene Wenger left Arsenal. We were already a mess. We're already on the way down. The trajectory was already bad. When Ferguson left Man United were old. And basically, he dragged one title out of a team that should not have won a title, basically, right? I think most Man United fans will probably agree with that. That season they won the league, after Man City had won the league before, like Ferguson literally did something amazing. So I don't think Liverpool are in the same situation those two teams were. But I do agree with you.
I know what I will say to that.
Ches, I agree with you, Ches.
I know you agree. I just want to counter.
It's just the drop off is we were competing for a league last season, right? We were in the title race. The drop off is that right now with no signings, I don't think that we compete for that title race. That's the drop off. I still think that we finished top 4. But the drop-off is that I'm not in any conversations come January of Liverpool winning the league. That's the drop-off.
I agree with that. I think, to respond to Olu's point, you're saying that that Liverpool are in a better position, but you could use the argument that they were in a better position last year with Klopp, one of the greatest managers in the Premier League era, and still only finished 3rd. So why are we assuming that with Slot, who's a lesser manager, he's also going to finish in a similar
Yes,
position.
but you're saying
think it's the same
only.
argument against you.
But
For
you're
me,
saying
I
only.
was just
I want to
thinking
hear. I
Mike.
want to hear Ahmad's
Yeah.
point. I want to hear
Yeah,
Ahmad's
of course.
point. I want to
I
hear.
agree. I agree with Mike. By the way, I think
I just think
Liverpool
it might
are-
just come down to a depth situation with Liverpool. Maybe that's what it's really going to come down to with them. If like one of their main guys goes out, they don't have a really like a suitable guy or maybe on a similar level to him. That's going to hurt the team in the in the long run. And obviously you got UCL football too now, not Europa League, but which is kind of slightly a little bit of a benefit. But you may lose players to that, and then that might give the other teams an advantage in trying to actually catch up to you guys. So for me, more so than anything else, even if I say like Slot's a transition guy, for a transitional season, he might obviously still maintain some level of the level right now. It really will come down to, in my personal opinion, the lack of depth in the squad. Because like I'm seeing Gomez is now leaving. You might not get the what you were saying at 6 and maybe another option that you wanted. So realistically, you're losing guys. You're not even like
Gomez
gaining
isn't
guys.
confirmed yet, though.
Obviously, obviously I understand. But if that does happen, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But old habits in the end, old habits die hard. And if you've got a team, I think Martin said it, they're a well-oiled machine, right? They've had years and years of playing. Even though, like I said, the midfield was totally different last year, there's still going to be an element of like they just know what to do on the pitch that they can sort of revert back to. And when you have I keep going back to this, when you have world-class players, they can drag you out of situations. Now, if they had lost Salah this season, I would have been very, very different about my opinion. I think that in terms of, I'm not saying they're going to challenge for the title. I think Ches is sort of mistaken what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to challenge for the title. I think they're going to be there and thereabouts. But I think top 4, to sort of say they're going to drop out of the top into a sort of like a close race for top 4, I think that's more wishful thinking than what the reality might be.
I would just say that like it just depends on how much Slot changes things. Like if he starts playing Salah as a 10 and you've got like Robertson on the wing or something, then you can see that he's really like he's getting in the gears there, and the train that is Liverpool that just goes on its own. Like I mean, we saw a lot of performances like this last year where they'd struggle to break down a team, and then bam, the floodgates open the second half. I think if the players all keep their good form, like Jota and Salah and stuff like that, I don't see why you would talk yourself out of a title charge. There's no pressure on Slot to do it, so I think that'll actually help you guys from a freedom standpoint. You won't feel like you've got a lot of like things you have to do. He's probably not even under pressure to win a trophy in his first season. So I think he's just basically in a don't break it mode. And if he goes off the track too much, then I think he can always come back and do the same things that have worked for Liverpool before.
I mean, Liverpool could, in theory, compete. Like anything in theory can happen. I'm just saying that I don't expect that. Like I'm not going into the season expecting a title contention. Obviously, I mean, if we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup early, if we get knocked out of the FA Cup early, and all we have to worry about is a Champions League game and a Premier League game, it's a much different story. If I'm in all 4 competitions going into the 5th round, again, it's a different story. Like we have bodies in theory, like we have a lot of players. The issue is, are those players good enough? At the back line, the only major issue of concern is that center back if Gomez leaves. In the midfield, the only major concern is a lack of a defensive-minded technical midfielder who can play in a double pivot with McAllister. We're yet to see if Gravenberch can do that, even though in the second half he was good today. And obviously the third biggest question mark is, do we have a 9 that can start for 4 straight matches and can finish more than 16% of his chances? Because if you go by the book, Darwin Núñez was 6% worse than Nicholas Jackson, and just look at how Chelsea fans treat him. And he was 12 percentage points worse than Rasmus Højlund, and look at how United fans treat Rasmus Højlund. So, like, to me, yes, a lot is up in the air, but there's many positives here. And when I look at Slot, I get excited. I'm happy to see him. I liked his words after the game. I liked his like business mentality. I mean, he didn't even go and clap for the fans at the end of the game. It was straight. It was straight down the tunnel. I'm like, that's what I want. I want business. I want a businessman in this position. I want someone who's cold. His substitutions were fantastic, and yeah, I mean, like you can't.
Can I just ask a question of everyone?
Can I just ask something? There's over 1,000 people here, guys, and we aren't
Just
even
getting triggered again for no reason.
Guys, before you talk to Dio, guys, there's over 1,000 people here. The minimum is 500 likes minimum, guys. Like the video underneath your live chat. There's over 1,000 people here. Chelsea has a new non-Premiership proven manager, just like Liverpool, By the way, the Liverpool manager is way more experienced than Maresca. You cannot compare
Yeah.
both.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
difference. The difference is Liverpool has a squad that has played together longer and more proven than this crop of Chelsea team.
I was going to say one more thing actually. That is, I always say this. This is one thing that you can never discount, which is Anfield Road, 4:30, under the lights on a Sunday, playing against the Cop. I'm sorry, that crowd, that stadium. As bad as Liverpool have been in the past, there's something about that stadium that just brings the best out of them. So even
Can I
if
just
they're
ask
not
everyone a question?
at home, they're going to be something else.
I know there's this Diaz thing going on with Liverpool fans, but who would take Anthony over Diaz? Like anyone, like a raise of hands?
Anthony
Seriously?
who?
The
Anthony
United
who?
Anthony. They're saying that Anthony's better than Diaz, but I'm
I would
gonna
take
nip
you
this in the
over
bud.
Anthony of United. I would
Yeah,
take you.
Okay,
to
yeah,
him.
all right.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Listen, man.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
just
just
being.
being-
I was just
I would
being
take anyone
facetious.
on this panel to play over Anthony, bro. Anyone on this
Yeah,
panel.
that,
would play over
that is just zero
Have you
logic.
seen
You
the
know what I
guy?
mean?
I was
Zero
just being
logic.
facetious. I
Yeah.
was memeing.
No, Hussam was saying it too, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure we need to nip this in the bud. Anthony can't even beat his man. Diaz can beat his man, and then sky it, but like at least he can beat his man.
He
Yeah,
won.
again-
He won all of his dribbles today, and he won all of his take-ons. The only thing is that he can't hit the broadside of a barn door with a shot, and that's a major problem. But he can do everything else.
Five-a-side
And
player. He's a five-a-side player. Five-a-side player.
but
fantastic,
also his
amazing.
work ethic second to none. He
Who
goes
gives a
from the
shit
first minute
about
to the
work
last
ethic?
minute.
If
You
you're
know
the
what it is
winger
with
who
him?
can't even pass the ball to the
I'm
teammate.
I've got very few things that I can compliment Mo. I'm going to compliment them.
Every time someone talk about work ethics, you can have work ethics if you are good in other things. This
Let me
guy
have my crumbs.
literally today dribbled 3 guys and skied it. Had a chance to pick
Yeah.
3
But he
players.
dribbled 3 guys.
But he picked the only Ipswich Town player in the 18, bro. The only
Oh,
guy. And he had 3.
Wonderful.
It's crazy, bro.
But he got
Sometimes
the
guys-
opportunity. He created
I
the
wanna
opportunity.
listen. I want to bring in Will to the conversation. Where do you see Liverpool this season, Will? Before we go on to Arsenal or Chelsea.
I would say for me, 4th, 5th, 6th. It just depends on how drop off is, but around those 3 spots, they're not going to be anywhere near the top 3. So,
Why?
Or
Who's in-
Tottenham
who's in the
finishing
top
above
3,
him.
Will?
huh?
Who's in the
Or
top 3?
Spurs finish. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
In the top 3, it's going to be between the 3rd spot's going to be between Villa and Tottenham.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. That was
There you go.
But how? Villa have Champions League. They don't have that deep of a squad. Spurs, you only have 1 decent signing. That's the only Solanke, and Solanke doesn't take the team from where you were. And we're not going to talk about Spurs, but I don't think that Liverpool will drop off to the point to be in the competition with. Maybe I don't know about Villa. If Villa get like knocked out of Champions League early and they're still within that frame, and Liverpool still in the Champions League, that might be a conversation, right? But again, that Spurs with Europa League, I think you don't have a deep squad. You have no cover, bro.
We have plenty of cover necessary for us, but for Villa wise, they have. I really rate their manager. I think Unai Emery, when it comes to league performances, if you watch them, they dropped off last at the end of last year. If they don't drop off, if they don't take that dive that they did at the same time at the end of the last season, why wouldn't they? They were pretty close to finishing 3rd anyway. They were in 3rd for several times. I mean, they weren't far
No,
off.
but they finished the season horrific.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They made improvements. They're going to make improvements. It's going to be, another year under this manager. Why can't Villa compete for that 3rd spot?
The cycle of Unai. Just trust me. Just trust me about that. The cycle of Unai.
Well, that's not that's not
Oh,
It's real.
it's not an argument, but it's not an argument.
Not
It's the
really.
same argument as Spurs. Like the people, some people have the argument like Spurs 2nd year syndrome with the manager. He's gonna do horrific and he's gonna get sacked. I'm like, that's not substance I can just argue with.
But it's not
It's
even
not.
historically accurate. Our 2nd year under Pochettino was way better than the 1st.
Now, but
I don't know what
Liverpool,
but listen.
with Liverpool, I was just going to say one thing about
Yes,
Liverpool.
Ahmed. Yes, Ahmed. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, listen.
Thank
I was going to say something. I watched that Liverpool game. I wasn't impressed overall. I don't think they was great, really. I think Ipswich on the counter attack. The thing is with Liverpool, is that because they've been under Klopp for so many years, and he was such a good coach, and he was playing like a certain brand of football. Obviously, Slot is trying to do the opposite and possession based. I'm looking at them players that they've got, like Jota, Robertson. They need a new left back first of all. Robertson's finished. He's done out here. He's done. They need. I think with them, that they need to sign more players that suit this manager's style of play. It's going to take time, obviously, but I would say they're going to be around the top 4 area because with their defense here, like, bro, how many times did you see Ipswich getting at their defenders all the time? I'm pretty sure he subbed off Konsa in the first half.
4 or 5?
4
Because
or 5
he got hurt.
times. He subbed off.
He didn't say. He said he lost too many duels.
Exactly. He subbed him off, which is very telling.
He said that in the press conference, Mike.
He said that.
Even better though.
Yeah, and Darwin Núñez didn't even feature, so that clearly shows you, that he don't rate him like that. He don't rate him.
He didn't need him. We were up.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
We were up 2-0.
But that's what I'm saying. I think long term, because you guys were so reliant on Klopp's system and he was doing a madness. Because I don't think that financially, they're going to be able to compete with other teams. Long term, I'm not worried as a rival fan. Honestly, I'm not.
That's a good point. Though.
Hold on.
I'm not.
You aren't worried about Liverpool?
I'm not worried about Liverpool because Klopp's gone. I'm not worried.
Hold on. I have to counter.
Absolutely horrific. He still employs Ten Hag. What the fuck are you talking about?
I have to counter you.
They employ Ten Hag, bro. And he's
I'm not saying Slot's not a good coach, by the way. Slot is a good coach. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. Potentially, he can be a good coach, but long term, I'm looking at it long term.
But the issue here is that you're basing the fundamental, like your fundamental argument is based on the principle that Slot is different from Klopp. You said that Slot's trying to play possession football. I don't know if you've watched Liverpool over the last 3 years, but all we've done since we won the league is try to play possession football. It was just shitty possession football, and all of our chances came from counterattack opportunities. Slot is trying to play a different style of possession football, but it's still possession football. Like, did you watch Liverpool last year?
You were possession based on the Klopp.
100%. 100%. Look, 2 seasons ago, you look at every single loss that we had 70% or more of the possession. Last year, every single loss that we had, we dominated possession. If you wanted to beat Liverpool, you let us have the ball. If we had more possession than you, I mean, even the Arsenal game, we had more possession than Arsenal at the Emirates, and we got fucking wiped. Okay? That was the status quo going against us. We played terrible in possession. If you give Slot time, these players will understand how to play this possession football, and then the long ball opens up, which is what you saw in the second half. Right? We played shitty possession and then good possession with long ball.
But for me, it's not only is it the Klopp factor too, but your star players are aging, and you haven't refreshed. Right? Van Dijk's aging. How many times has he been injured in the last 2 years and missed 2 or 3 weeks in a row? Mohamed Salah, he's aging. Right, like all of you still have those world-class players, but they're on the downward slope of their performance. They're not peaking. They've peaked. They're on the downward.
But they're not really like falling off a cliff or anything.
Again, we need to see. I feel like with
age is
a lot
age,
of this stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like with a lot of stuff. Again, we need to get some more. We need to get more game data. You know what I mean? This is only the first game.
No, but I think people.
Then we'll see if these guys are actually falling off or not. But I doubt. I feel like this is like that one more. They've got. I feel like Van Dijk, Salah. They've got one more season, then, bro. They still got one more season.
Yeah, but that's why I said. That's why I said long term.
Yeah.
Like Salah weren't great like in 2024. That's not.
Start.
I just think he wasn't that good. Like
but Salah something else that not a lot of people.
But again, listen, guys.
The worst game in the
Yeah,
history of mankind. Salah can have the worst game in the history, and then boom, a goal and assist, he wins with a few points. That's what Salah does.
But again, Mo, what I would say again, we need to actually just see them play a few games, and then we can actually make that decision.
So Will says that, but you know what he said.
I said.
Will, what did he say?
Salah's still Salah, but he's not getting Golden Boot this year. You know what I'm saying? He's on that. He's peaked. He's on the downward trend. He's still going to score goals.
But that's not true because Salah last season created the most chances in the Premier League.
An assist today.
Sorry, go on, Will.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's not the Salah of 3 years ago. He's just on that downward trend. He's still better than probably 80% of wingers, 90% of wingers in the league. But he was the best. right? That's what I'm saying. He's on a downward trend, and that trend is going to continue to go down over time.
But okay,
Does that
so
apply to like
wait,
KDB
But
and
that's
no.
that's
Wait,
true.
wait, wait.
You know, that's very true. That is just human nature. Salah is slower now. Is slower now than before.
Yes,
Yes,
sure.
but he's I think he's a very smart player that he will actually adapt, and he is adapting. He might not be
he's
the
still
Salah
super
of old,
fast. Like,
but I think he's adapting.
Outpaces.
But
people.
He's
also,
still good, and he's still really good in his current state, bro. The fact that he's now
It's
kind of
amazing.
improved his game, he's improved his creation. It's like, listen, that's a big plus now.
Well-
Yeah, he might not be able to score as many, but he can create for his teammates a lot more than he did in the past.
but also as well, I mean, Will said that he expects Tottenham to finish or Villa to finish third, and I'll say Tottenham's quote-unquote world-class player Son is also on the other side of the 30 age bracket, and he's slowing down. So, if you expect, are we saying that basically at his level, Son is better than Salah? I don't think so. I think Salah is better than Son.
Not
I
true.
think,
Yeah.
and I think that you get more from Salah in games that will win you games by his individual brilliance more than you get from Son, because Son now needs the other players around him to function at a high level more so than Salah. So if we're going just by quality of player, like unless you're saying that the Ange system is going to be much better than anything that Liverpool can play this year, I don't see the logic in seeing Tottenham being better than Liverpool.
Because we don't have Darwin Núñez up front.
Fair enough. Yeah, but you've got Timo Werner, so I mean, much.
What the great equalizer,
Right, hold on. Timo Werner's not going to be playing on the left. Son's going to be playing on the left.
Yeah, but you still got Timo Werner.
Solanke, right? You guys can't tell me that Solanke can score 20 goals at Bournemouth almost, and they created half the chances Tottenham created, and you're telling me
I
that
think Darwin Núñez is going to outscore.
But even Jota, they've got Jota up front, and again, you go tell me Jota
as a striker. That's what I'm saying. Any game that Darwin Núñez is in is going to put Liverpool at a disadvantage.
Listen, I understand that. I'm just saying though, if you go
scored 10 goals in the or Charleston scored 10 goals. You're telling me Solanke can score at least 19 goals again this year? Come on.
I understood. But if you go machine for machine, Liverpool will still have players you would say would be better than Tottenham's. So that's why I don't understand how you can look at Tottenham. So Liverpool dropping all the way down to 6th to 7th, and Tottenham elevated to 3rd.
Son's better than Diaz.
No, compare the players who are like the top players. Don't just compare random players.
Right. Salah's better than anybody we have on the right.
Yep.
Ours better. Our left winger's better. The midfield, you could arguably say ours is better. Defense, they have Van Dijk, who's better than any defender we have, but we also have really good defenders. I don't understand where the inaccuracy of anything that I'm saying, as far as like how the squads, the starting 11s pan out.
I think it's a subjective thing there, but fair enough.
Our right back got more assists than their right back did last season.
Our right back wasn't playing at right back last season.
Exactly. Well, he was playing in the midfield and doing that whole thing.
Solanke's best season before last one was 6 goals. So it could be like an anomaly year, right? Like there's no reason to think that he's necessarily.
Too fair to Will's point. If you take Liverpool out of the equation, everyone assumes that Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Tottenham are all going to be fighting out for 4th, right? And Man United. So if you believe Liverpool drop in, what he's saying isn't crazy. Like if you're on the belief that Liverpool will drop down to top 4 battle, he's saying isn't mad.
Liverpool's
it's definitely not crazy.
It depends on what you think. Yeah. Like, if you don't think Liverpool are near there, then it sounds mad.
Or 5th. That's where they're.
So he believes you're 4th, 5th. So therefore, that's why he's comparing it. I personally wouldn't, but I get where he's coming from in terms of that point of view, innit? But yeah,
let's go on, guys. Let's get to 500 likes. About 1,100 people here, 1,100 people here. Hit the like button, get us to 500 likes. One super chat before we move on to Arsenal. This Spurs fan just said Villa were 3rd at some point last season and were close to Liverpool last year. How could Liverpool be in a title race and Villa be in 3rd? Villa finished 14 points behind.
They were in the middle of the season. When Tottenham was in 1st, Villa was in and around 3rd. Bouncing in.
Wait. Middle of the season? Middle? I don't think it was middle. I think it was 10 games.
City was outside of the top 3 at one point.
Guys, what's 38 divided by 2?
19.
10 and 19. I don't know if that's middle of the season and Spurs were in the middle of the
That's
top
like
of
a
the
third
Villa
season
were
for
third.
City.
I think.
In Will's
I
head,
cannot
they were the
shit
top.
about it.
I don't know. My maths may not be as good anymore, but I'm pretty sure halfway through the season, Spurs were nowhere near first.
I didn't say we were in first.
You said
10
middle.
games, I
You,
think.
you said middle of the season when Tottenham were first, and I'm just saying middle of the season wasn't.
We need to check where they went in December, man.
I still
Yeah,
think
man.
Spurs. I
Anyway.
still think Spurs are going to be strong this year. I just don't think that they're going to be
Strong.
barking down Liverpool's neck. Yeah.
I think
I have Spurs 6 or something this season. I have Newcastle ahead of them. Actually,
that's
to be
weird.
honest. I have Newcastle ahead of them.
I think Spurs will get fourth.
Just to be clear, guys, in game week 16, Aston Villa were third.
Thank you.
Fair point.
I literally just went back and said,
And where did
game week
they
16,
finish?
23. Yeah, but that's the point. They finished 13 points behind Liverpool. They fell off a cliff
Exactly.
second half of the season. But
Doesn't matter how
factually
you start.
speaking, I am looking at game week 16, 35 points third.
Who was top in game week 16?
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Actually.
Okay. There you go.
We
were
fall
Tottenham.
off a cliff,
Actually-
baby. That's what we do. That's what we do here.
Hey, man,
Well,
let's
actually-
hope you don't fall off a cliff now again.
Actually, Man City were fourth because they were games behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were. They were.
But
like two
anyway,
games
moving
after.
on from this. Listen, moving on from this.
What's his
Talk to
name?
me about Arsenal. I want, first of all, I'm not gonna hear Arsenal fans talk about Arsenal first. Okay, I want to hear a rival fan talk about Arsenal. I want to see the analysis.
Say
of
something
the game
nice.
from a rival fan.
Don't say anything nice.
I don't know. I know whoever watched the game. I don't know. There is Ahmed, there is Chez, there is Will, there is Ahmed. Whoever wants to take this on, go ahead, go for it.
Look at the faces.
Oh
I
my
actually
God.
was
What
not.
do you
I
say?
actually was not able to watch the game. I genuinely was able to watch the game.
Don't look at
No,
me.
I,
I'm
swear
genuinely
to
was
you,
like-
I was actually not watching the game. I was up all day. That's why I was late today.
Yeah. I
Oh
wasn't-
my God.
I didn't watch the
I
game.
was,
See?
uh,
Mo, do you see what this is? This is basically now Arsenal is so inevitable that people don't even want to watch, see if we lose. It's come to a point that just like, you know
I
what?
had to sleep.
Like,
What
why
do
we
you mean?
wasting
I
our
stayed up all
time?
night. I
It's
had to go to bed at
3
some
o'clock in
point.
the
bro,
morning.
I was out
Saturday
brunch,
afternoon.
man.
We're just in
I was
London.
out
Busy.
brunch,
You're
bro.
alive.
What do you want me to
We're like
do?
Thanos.
Clear my brunch.
Arsenal
Come on, man.
This is
now,
a historic
Arsenal,
moment where I'm asking a
Arsenal
rival to think about Arsenal, and everyone is like, "Well, can you take it?"
Arsenal Thanos. Arsenal
Nah, you're not
They're
Thanos,
just
man.
scared.
You're
They're
Snorlax,
just
bro, not
scared.
Thanos.
Listen,
Snorlax.
it was.
Okay,
It
who
was.
watched? Okay,
Thanos,
Infinity,
man.
who watched the
Ahmed,
game?
did you watch the
What's
game?
the
Did you watch the
game?
game?
Yeah, I watched the game. I watched the game. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
then
Okay,
thank
talk
you.
to us.
Listen,
Yeah,
thank
Talk to
you.
us.
Take
Talk
care,
about
man.
it.
Talk to us.
All right.
Let's
Talk to
go, man.
us. Talk to us.
Yeah, I watched the game, bro. Like, it was a convincing win, innit? Like, they played well. Saka took his goal well. Good cross by Saka. And I think for me personally, I think Havertz had a good game as well. I thought Havertz was quite good. He had a very good overall game. I still think on the left-hand side, Martinelli is not the answer, personally. Thomas Partey was looking a bit funny today. I don't think he had a good game. Bro, he was moving mad today. That guy can't shoot to save his life. But in terms of how they played overall, it was a convincing win. Wolves did have some chances. Like there was a moment in the game where Saliba was trying to pass out from the back here, and then it landed on Cunha, and then it was a poor shot. I think they also had like a good free kick. Cross came in. Raya made a really good save. So you know, overall a pretty decent performance from Arsenal. But Wolves did have their chances. They could have like at least scored one or twice in that game. I thought they just lacked the quality in the final third, man, and like the killer instinct. But yeah, man, like with Arsenal. Games like this is you expect Arsenal to win these type of games, especially at home as well. Do you get it? Like their first game, I thought when Jesus came on, he was quite good, man. He was running out the defense. You know, the thing is with Jesus, he's always good. He's always going to be quite tidy on the ball. He's always going to be tidy on the ball. So yeah, man. Overall, convincing. I don't know who they play next, but yeah, bro. Wolves for me personally, I don't think. Yeah, Wolves were really bad. Like yeah, man.
We
They're
play
quite.
Villa.
Huh?
We play Villa next.
Yeah, you play Villa next. Oh yeah, and lastly as well, I don't know what Wolves player yet is, but I don't know what he's doing to Jesus. By the way, that guy's a weirdo.
Hey, yo.
That guy was touching him in places where, bro, I don't know what he's doing in it.
And he choked Kai like when he came down.
Yeah, Kai was getting choked by the way. He's getting choked.
Choked him on the neck.
But you know what I find really annoying about like the referees in the Premier League. I remember when there was a moment where Casemiro went like this to one of the players, and you see this Wolves player proper going like this. I don't know if he's trying to kill him or something, and he didn't get a single booking, not a single booking he got. So there's a clear inconsistency, when it comes to booking players. Do you get it? Like, I don't know what it is. Like, are you allowed to strangle players now all of a sudden? That's a madness. But yeah, bro, yeah, bro, they need to pattern up in that department. But
again, it's always you know, it comes down to Ahmed, this precedence, bro. They need to maintain precedence. One thing happens in another thing. If anything else happens somewhere else, it needs to be maintained. Simple as that.
Yeah, I don't know if Arteta hired that guy to like try and pick Jesus's pocket, but that was too much, man. Like
bro, he literally
Brother was feeling himself, man. He was definitely feeling himself.
Bro, that was so unnecessary. You know, if that happened to me, bro, I'm headbutting. I'm giving him the Zidane, bro.
That's the reason. Strangled Havertz, isn't it? The
same guy.
Same guy.
It was the same guy. Yeah, that guy's a weird.
By the way, that was very strange that they didn't give the guy a red card. It was very obvious that he
100%.
went for it to put his hand on the neck when the guy was on the floor. Like, it was kind of strange to me that he didn't give him a red card, to be honest. But on the game, I want to hear the Arsenal thoughts. Martin, you actually told me to stop texting you while the game is on because you wanted to enjoy the game.
You could have waited till the full time until you started shit talking Havertz, but no, you had to do like 80th minute. Why is he so shit? So I was like, just let me watch the game and then we could talk about it later. But yeah, Havertz took his chance well and then proceeded to fluff every other decent chance he had for the rest of the game. But he did, I think, get an assist for Saka's goal technically. So there's that.
Yes, he passed the ball to Saka. Yes.
He passed the ball to Saka. Yeah, like
bro, I'm telling you, they need to fix the assists, bro. Everything counts as an assist these days. I'm telling you.
Bro, he literally just passed the ball to Saka.
You can't change the rules now.
In a no place to score.
Do you remember the Messi goal against Real Madrid when Busquets just literally tapped the ball to Messi and then Messi went past like 5 players?
Exactly, bro.
Busquets got an assist. Oh, here we go, Busquets. Stop adding. You know what I mean?
I thought that we do this thing where we go a goal up and then we kind of just run an autopilot and let the other team just completely have their way with the game. I think Wolves had 60% possession or something early in the second half. And Nouri was he's so annoying. He's so good. He's so annoying. He's just tackling everyone and dribbling past people. And I thought that Wolves actually had good spells. They were dangerous. I think there was a save from Raya that was unbelievable save. It was going the complete other direction and a point blank kind of header situation. So we were a bit lucky. I think we were just a bit complacent. And then, you said Partey had a good game. I think he had a good first half, but second half we were just doing a lot of.
He was rubbish. I said he didn't play well, Partey.
Look, he was doing a good DM stuff in the first half, but then like second half he kept a lot of hospital passes to him, and he was trying to do a lot of weird spinny things to get out of these dangerous situations. I wasn't a fan of it. Zinchenko dropped off a little bit, and then Jesus came on and did his Jogo Bonito thing where it was kind of step overs and running around. But I don't really think we threatened Wolves that much. I don't think it was a champagne performance by any means, but it was not scary. I'll put it that way. Like for the first game of the season, I'll take it. 3 points, clean sheet. The Invincibles is still on, so that's what I'm aiming for. And the Chelsea 15 goals conceded record, that's what we're going for. But I don't think we really sent a message to the rest of the league going like, "Oh, look out for Arsenal." I think we still need to bring in Marino and an attacker. And but people will give Martinelli a lot of crap, but his main job is to just be very defensively strong and run around a lot, tire out the defense for Trossard to come on later. He does a job, but I still don't think we've got enough threat down that left-hand side for most of the game until Trossard comes on. And Odegaard, I thought, had a very good game, like doing his controller stuff and flicks and tricks, and it was keeping us sort of on top of Wolves. And Saka he's trying to be Salah. He's trying to learn how to be inevitable. He's trying to bring in that efficiency to finishing. Normally he goes far corner. He went near post, and
I feel like the keeper should have saved it though, innit, low key, because it was in the middle of the goal. He should have saved it. Like,
but because Saka always goes the other way.
Kylian Mbappe's goals are near posts.
No, but Saka's one wasn't really like in the far post. It was like a little bit more in the middle. It was a good finish still, but I don't know. I just feel like the keeper kind of fumbled that one. I don't know. Kind of fumbled it.
He was expecting the far corner, and so once you do with that. Yeah,
the cross was good though. It was a good cross to to have it.
Also, Saka's shot was a thunder blast as well, man. He hit that hard. Basically,
the goalkeeper actually moved after the ball went to the net.
Yeah, he had no chance. I mean, I mean, when I used to play goal was a very long time ago. They used to say, yeah, don't let him score your near post. But there's some times where you just go to the coach, you're like, listen, there's nothing I could physically do because he hit that hard. But yeah, I mean, I think I agree with him with what Martin said. It's a first game. You want your 3 points. You want to essentially, you're still sort of coming off pre-season, so fitness is not fully there. The patterns of play not fully there. The team's still getting back up to speed. So what you want is the 3 points, a decent performance. I think Wolves definitely posed too much of a threat in the second half. I'm always pissed off when Arsenal concede a shot. Talk less one on target, because we're able to suffocate teams, and I think we led them into the second half, but in the end the quality showed. And I thought, listen, there's going to be harder tests. There's nothing you can really take from this game apart from you get the 3 points, you go on to the next one, and you see what happens. And Villa next week will be a harder test, and I think.
Does anybody see Arsenal as favorites to win the Premier League finally? Like are they the best?
I said that before.
Nah,
that we're favorites.
Why not? Well, Chaz, Ahmed.
I don't.
They have 3 left. Well, they have 3 left backs now: Timber, Calafiori, and Zinchenko.
Yeah, but what happened? How come Zinchenko play?
He played today because Calafiori is not ready. Timber's gonna play. We know that Zinchenko's not gonna. By the way, when Zinchenko played today, he was good on the ball. Again, against bigger team, he wouldn't play Zinchenko. He would play Timber. Against better teams, he wouldn't play Zinchenko.
They should be favorites. They should be favorites, though. They should be winning this league title. And this is not even me just saying this for banner. They should be winning this league.
Do
I think they have the players?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they do have the players to win the title. Like, they do have the
favorites
players
over City, but only because City haven't strengthened, though, is the reason why I say
they do
that.
have the players, though. Like,
you know what it is? I just feel like with City, bro. I've just said it before. It feels like we talk about inevitability. They're like inevitable, bro. They've got Pep. Yeah. They've just got everything like that. That's the thing, bro. It's not even like me even hating on Arsenal. It's just like, I just feel City are just more inevitable than Arsenal right now. That's what it just comes down to. Literally, point blank. Listen, they might even be getting Gundogan back right now too, potentially. If they get him back, he's the guy that we know is super inevitable. So, hey, do we see Saka actually now being the star guy for Arsenal this season, doing what Palmer did for Chelsea last season? This season now carrying the team like what he did today, but being more consistent over the whole season, not only providing numbers.
He has to prove it because Palmer's got more to his game than Saka does. So Saka's good at what he does, but it's the same thing. So it's like Robin. Robin is elite at what he does, but no one can stop it. That's why. He's renowned.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's not this. It's just Saka for me.
It's not. Yeah, I'll take it. Maybe Palmer is more technical, can dribble better. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So my point is that, like, to carry a team, you need more than just doing a one-dimensional thing.
I think he can. No, yeah. I think he can.
I don't know if
Salah, for example, carries Liverpool.
What I would say to you, Mo, to further my point, I think he relies on his teammates more than what other players will. For example, Salah can make a goal out of nothing. See, Saka
literally did today get an assist out of nothing.
You're talking about a season. You're talking about one game.
So why do you think he can't do that all the season then? Why?
I haven't seen it.
What's stopping him? Yeah, of course.
I think it's too much pressure on Saka.
I never said he can't. I just haven't seen it. So you said like Cole Palmer. You said that. Cole Palmer we saw in a team that wasn't functioning very well, not really. Fullbacks always injured. Midfielder always changed. He still managed to create his own goals, create his own.
It's a temperament thing. It's temperament. It's all mental.
I'm saying it's just different mentality way of playing. Saka is very reliant on the system. It's not a bad thing. Use your brain, football people. He's very reliant on the system.
Well, that's not true. Sorry, well, before you go, that's not true because actually in the seasons when we were really bad and actually Arsenal had to switch off and take out players like Willian and so on and so forth, and Saka came into the team, he was dragging the team through to actually playing well and scoring goals. And him and Musmufro basically were the 2 best players that we had. So this, again, it's easy to look at things in isolation now and look at how good the team is and think this is what it was. The reality is that Saka actually has played in a bad team and that's dragged Arsenal through difficult periods. So, yeah, it's not in the same way as what Cole Palmer did last year. I think Palmer did something that no one could believe could happen, but let's not forget what Saka's done in the past in a bad team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, last season with Saka, like, he could... the thing is, last season, yeah, like Saka will always get the numbers, yeah, but performances wise, I don't think he was like great last season. I think the season before that was better than the one that just happened now. But with this season, if he can play like that on a consistent basis
Yeah, that's what I'm
against
saying.
if he can play like that, yeah, on a consistent basis against the big teams, and when his team really needs him, and like he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take this game by myself, like what Palmer does, for example, even what Foden did to an extent with Man City as well in the crucial
That's
moments.
what I'm saying.
You're saying basically what guys, you need it to be a bit more moments. Basically, you need to add,
yeah, that's why I said this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's
like, what I'm
that's
trying to say, Mo. What I'm trying to say is that people Arsenal fans get very emotional in it. They get very hurt. You say one critique about their players, like, oh, you're calling them crap.
No, look,
I compare them to
I do facts over feelings, and Bukayo Saka has proven that he's a 20 to 25 in the league GA player for the last 2 to 3 seasons in a row. Cole Palmer for me hasn't proved that yet. You gotta wait another season.
No, but I don't actually like when they combine the G.
You missed the question. You missed the question. You missed the question completely. You completely missed the question. Actually, to be respectful. What he said was,
I heard.
Can he carry? Let me give the premise. He said, "Can you carry the team like Cole Palmer did?"
He's been carrying Arsenal for the last 3 years.
Will, that's very incorrect. That's taken away from Saliba.
Literally not.
That's taken away from Gabriel.
Been carrying Arsenal for the last 3 years. And
Will, if you take away Saka, there's still Saliba. They're
just not assists, goals.
But you could say the same thing about Odegaard.
Without Bukayo Saka.
Stop.
In the top 3 without Bukayo Saka the last 2 years in a row.
Will, this is not true what you're saying. If you take away Saka, there's still Rice. There's still Odegaard.
Can't score. Martinelli can't score. Who else can?
It's a trick question. It's a trick question from Mo, right? Because we don't actually want to rely on Saka to carry us. We want to have 5 or 6 players that are going to do that for us. And I think Havertz is one of those guys which we're going to need to step up and carry us. And we're also going to need Martinelli or Trossard to carry us. Saka is the first name on the team sheet, but he's also the most marked man in probably the Premier League, because they put their best defender on him and their second best defender on him, and they say, kill this man as soon as he gets the ball. So
even in that,
you know what also is like, we need
space. The fact that Bukayo Saka is getting double marked creates space for the other players in the team that allow him to score. Right?
Yeah, but that means you can't expect Saka to be the guy to carry. Like, someone else has to step up.
Yeah. Again, like, you know,
hold on. Look at the goal involvement for the entire Arsenal team. Bukayo Saka has played a role in either he's the touch before the assist, or he's the assist.
But I'm talking performances based off last season.
Probably 60% of Arsenal scoring opportunities. Bukayo Saka, that's why Arteta ran him like a dog last year and played him in every game, even when he was injured. Because without Bukayo Saka, you guys fall apart.
One thing I will say is that, you know, I think I will give Arsenal like some level of credit in the sense that they have gotten other guys now that can at least, you know, if Saka is not doing it on his day, they've got other guys that can do the job now. And that is much better, particularly you don't want to be a team where you're a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? We've just got one guy that's doing the vast majority of the stuff for you. Mm-hmm. And then if he gets locked up, the rest of the team, you know, can't do it for you. You've got Odegaard now. You've got, what's it called? Even Martinelli, if he can do his thing on a weekly basis. Even Havertz is producing for you, ironically, but you know, it is.
Well, Trossard had our most open play goals.
Trossard as well. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, and also I think some people. Sorry, I saw some people in the chat think that I was saying that what Palmer did last year wasn't amazing. I'm saying what Palmer did is amazing last year. So I'm not comparing Palmer to Saka. I hate when people think that everything has to be a comparison. What I'm saying though is that, first of all, aesthetically, Saka isn't pleasing to the eye. So when you say carrying a team, he's not like what a Messi does or Son has done, or even a Cole Palmer. He's not aesthetically as pleasing as some of the other players. But I mean, Will said it perfectly. He's the kind of player that he makes so many decoy runs. He plays a team game that makes the team better, basically. And whilst I kind of disagree that Arsenal fall apart, but I do believe that there's a reliance on when that right side plays well, Arsenal play well. And that right side is a triangle of Ben White, Odegaard, and Saka. And Saka is probably the most important in terms of creating space over players. But he's never going to be aesthetically pleasing.
I agree with that. Like, aesthetics-wise, people aren't going to rate him as highly as other guys. But what I'm trying to say is that most questions, obviously, to spark conversation, but to answer it directly, the point I'm trying to make is in the Champions League games, in the big games where you needed him, I don't look at him as that guy who's going to do that, like something special. He's a consistent player who's on the right, does his thing. That Wilson scores goals in and out. I don't see him as a guy that goes, the game's 0-0. You need to win.
Difference
Honestly,
maker.
But that's,
A
but
difference
that's
Key
maker.
moments,
true.
brother. Do you think he has the key
The
moments in his
difference, you know,
bag?
the
That's the question.
difference
Basically, what
maker.
we're
Key
saying,
moments.
yeah,
Mo,
The
do you know
key
what I'm
moments
saying?
players.
Hold on. Let me rephrase it. The difference maker. The Salah against Man City, against
There we go.
Spurs
Yeah,
5
yeah.
years ago. Kevin De Bruyne when he came back from injury. The difference, the guy that when it's stuck, give the ball to him. He'll make something. He'll get something out of the bag. That
That's
is
not
the guy.
true.
But
For
that
example,
can be done
For
consistently.
example, the Bayern Munich game. Remember the Bayern Munich game where we all looked at him and went, bro, like, what you do? The corner, the way he played. Like, for me,
But-
put a player like Cole Palmer. I'm not saying Cole Palmer, he hasn't proven it over, like Will said, he hasn't proven it yet. But put a
Didn't
player
he
like
score
him
against Bayern when it was
who
0-0?
can. Man,
Saka
we're talking about clutch moments where you need, but it's very different. Just it's hard to explain, like because we've won stuff recently, innit? When you have players that step up in the moment, they stand out.
It's basically
Havertz.
an example would be
Havertz, as much as I slate the guy, he done what he needed to do.
an
So he has
example.
Yeah, but
that
see,
game.
you're
Like,
you're using hindsight to judge something by saying because
Hindsight?
those are, yes, you are, because you're
So
saying because
I'm
something
saying he
happened.
needs to
Wait,
prove it,
let
Olu.
me
He needs
say
to prove it.
there are many games, and I don't want to. I can't want to pick it up right now, but there are many games where Saka has scored crucial goals, either to get us a lead or to break
Yeah,
the
scoring
deadlock.
it in
Right?
moments doesn't make.
No, but that's what you are talking about moments. You're literally saying
We're talking about
you're talking about-
consistent basis.
I'm talking
you're,
consistent.
you're shifting the goalposts each
No,
time.
no, we're
First
not.
of all,
We're not.
we talk. Wait, no, stop. We talked about his consistency. You said no, he needs to be able to be a
I said he
player
didn't
who
have a
does
good
it in
season last
moments.
season.
No, but that's
Me
I'm
personally.
talking. Listen, I've listened to this argument. I've been listening to you guys. You started off with saying he doesn't do in moments, right? So we said, oh, he's consistent, right? That he plays consistently well. And Ches turned around and said, well, he's not like in certain games he doesn't have the spark. And I say, actually, no. There are games when Arsenal are either behind or in a deadlock, and he breaks the scoring, and that's a moment. Yes, it's not big moments like let's say in the second game against Bayern Munich or in the Champions League final. But you cannot say those moments are not as important because if you still win a game from that, that's him coming up clutch. So don't just shift the goalpost to make your narrative.
I'm giving you examples.
You know, do you know what it should be? You know what it should be, Olu. Yeah, I feel like at least in my personal opinion, I was saying key moments, and that's why I said the key word was key moments instead of like in terms of big games, key moments. Those ones, where if you win that game, that's gonna basically win the league. That I feel like to me, or like that's gonna get you into the final or like the semi-final essentially. That's the thing I'm talking about. Saka more so.
You know what you
than
could
anything
use,
else.
Ahmed? That game against Aston Villa at home, where
Exactly.
everyone's
That would
playing
be
crap.
an example,
That's what I'm
yes,
saying.
exactly.
So everyone's playing crap. Your team are bottling it, but that one guy who's world class, bona fide, steps and go, "Now, bun this." Kevin De Bruyne, Salah.
Yeah, but you say Kevin De
That's what
Bruyne,
I'm
but
saying.
even City relied on Gundogan and Rodri to come through
Martin,
with these
you're-
clutch
what you're
moments. You
doing
can't
is
just rely on one player because Saka's
Yeah,
done
but
it
they're
9 out of
world-class
10
players, the ones
times.
that you named.
Martin, why I'm proven right is because you haven't won anything. So that's not even a dig. My point is proven
What
correct
does that have
because
to
you had
do with
the same
anything that we were
team,
just saying?
Martin, last season, before we started last season, Arsenal fans were saying we have to win a trophy. You ended the season with 0 trophies.
What does this have to do
You're
with the
playing
Saka?
it, Martin. Let me land my point because you're getting emotional. So
I'm not emotional.
0 trophies means your players, whether it's the players, the manager, the fans, I don't really care who it was. It wasn't good enough. Would you agree, or would you not agree? Only in mind. Would you
Obviously,
agree
they're
with
not
that?
good enough. They didn't have a
Calm.
trophy.
I said it wasn't good enough. I said they are. I never said they aren't. I said it wasn't last season's performances.
Look,
Because
let
you
me
didn't
just
win
say
any
something about.
trophy.
Let me
What I'm
just
trying
make
to say
this.
is no one stepped up
Wait.
when they needed to. The manager, the players, no one stepped up.
Let me just say something about. I'm going to say something about Saka here real quick.
No. I'm asking a
Wait,
question.
hold on. It'll be quick.
No,
It'll be
stop.
quick.
No, before you go, and you can answer this question alongside
go
your
on.
question. Did KDB step up in the Champions League final?
Which
No,
one?
he
Got
didn't step up
injured.
enough.
What the fuck?
In both Champions League finals?
Against
No.
Chelsea, where
Which
got-
one? He was
he
here
got-
too.
He got
Here too.
injured twice.
Yeah, he got
But
injured
He
twice.
got injured
step up.
twice against
Step up,
Inter
right?
and against Chelsea. What are
I'm
you
making my
doing?
point.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. No, did he step up?
I hope you're not.
No, he
talking
didn't
about
because he
when
got
he went-
injured. We
I
cannot
don't
know
care.
if he would have
What
stepped
about
up or
Haaland?
not.
On the time on the pitch, did he step up? Yes or no?
He was injured, so
No.
No,
didn't.
this time
He
on the
didn't.
pitch before his injury, did he step
No,
up?
he
Okay, let's
didn't.
just say
In the
no. Let's
30
just go with
minutes
it,
he
yeah.
played.
Okay,
he
let's just
didn't.
say no. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna
Okay,
say?
let's
So
just
would
say
you
no.
hold that-
Kevin
would
De
you
Bruyne
hold that-
has not
Okay,
turned
no.
up.
So would
Okay,
you
all
hold
no,
that-
Yeah,
no,
Oli, no,
Yeah.
calm. Now what?
would you hold that against him then?
Are you
No,
serious?
because
right
he's done. He's
now?
done.
No.
world class
Yeah,
Okay,
things
don't
for Man
answer that.
City.
He's not questioning KDB. He's not doing that.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
not.
listen,
I'm
listen,
just questioning- I'm
listen.
just showing you where
What
logic
KDB?
fails.
Listen,
The
what
logic
KDB?
fails.
Listen, what
It
KDB? Listen,
does.
I stand the
KDB.
listen. What KDB has done
Oh.
for Man City, yeah, in the big moments when it comes in the Premier League,
Special, G.
what he offers, yeah, he's done it on
32
a,
years old versus 22 years old. Absolutely
That's what I'm saying. It's
amazing.
he's
not
done it on a
doing
Amazing.
one,
consistent
Yeah.
basis. What,
Come
you
on.
know what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm talking about. You know how like the thing is with
No, I
Bukayo Saka.
don't. I know why you're talking like this, Ahmed, because you don't like Saka aesthetically.
No.
and you
Listen,
like the
listen.
likes
No,
of
I was
Mohamed
about. I swear
Diallo
to
and
God, I
Cole
was about to
Palmer.
make it. I was about to make an objective point. I'm actually going to be objective here about Saka. Yeah?
I thought you're always
Was it-
objective.
was it-
Are you telling me that
No,
all
no,
your
but-
other points were not objective? And this
No,
is
no,
the
but-
only time you've been objective?
No,
You got
but-
him, bro.
Yeah,
No, you're-
yeah.
no, no,
Hey,
no.
yo.
Listen,
You
it's
got-
real.
you got
Actually,
him.
you know what? I'm not going to be objective. Actually, nah, forget that. Forget that.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No,
Nah,
I'm
we
not
were
gonna
just-
be
we were
objective.
No, I'm
just-
joking.
we
I'm
were
joking.
No, I'm joking.
Keep
I'm
going.
joking.
Keep going. Keep going.
No,
yeah,
but
keep
listen.
going.
But listen, my points on Saka, I still believe it, yeah. But if you want me to be honestly objective, he's a good player, but I just feel like Arsenal fans want us rival fans to rate him so highly just for their own like satisfaction. When I say performing consistently on a high level, yeah, and turning up in the big games, I look at Vinicius Junior. That's what I look at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That type of player that turns up, like if he was moving like Vinny, then I've got no issue saying that. You know what? He's on the same level. But the way how you guys, the thing is,
We're
he
not
had a
asking
good
for
game.
that.
Today.
No.
He had a good
No.
game
this is a
today.
Mo question.
No, but
And I was called emotional because I said that Man City have 4 or
the reason
5
why.
clutch guys that come through. People like Haaland hasn't scored in a final in any of his games for Man City. I think he scored in a semi-final.
Yeah, but
he
you know
showed
what?
up in
You
the
know what I
league.
would say.
Listen,
You know what I'd say to that comment, Martin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if I was to remove it, okay, Saka doesn't need to necessarily do it. Do you not necessarily agree that you need that maybe that guy that's going to be the Gundogan for you, or of that Rodri that's just going to
But
do
you're
that
ignoring
carry
the
job?
games which Saka does do it when he stands up away at Man United or at
Martin-
Liverpool.
Martin-
or
No, no,
other
but like,
games
the
he
thing-
did stand up, which
No,
you
no,
Martin, I
completely
agree.
No,
deleted.
but the point I'm trying to make is that okay,
Naturally,
even
bro.
if I was to say
Naturally.
okay, I don't necessarily need that from Saka. Okay, I just need someone in the team in general to do that for me. Will you not argue though? You need that in the team. I'm not even saying it has to be
Of
Saka.
course,
or not.
I'm saying we need all of them
always-
to do that.
Yeah,
You always need that, but also listen. I'll tell you, I mean, let me tell you the problem that we have, or Arsenal
Yeah.
fans have with other people when they talk about Saka, is the
All right.
goalpost always moves for him. It's
Alright,
like
fair enough.
What's
the
the
goalpost
goalpost?
always. So that's the we don't know anymore because, for example, people say it's too early to call Saka world class, which I can agree with. I don't think Saka's world class, but then they'll say it's too early, like he needs to do it over a couple of seasons. But then I'll hear some like people say Lamau is world class, and I'm like, so wait a
Yeah,
minute.
because he's got world class ability. There's a difference.
But again, but this goalpost is moving.
Does
This
Mo
is what I'm
Salah
talking
have
about.
world-class abilities?
This is what I'm talking
Yes.
about. It's
Yes.
Hold on,
it's a
hold on,
shift.
hold
It's
on,
fine.
hold
He's
on.
a kicking on my
Hold
head.
on.
Just joking.
Hold on, Ahmed. Does Mo Salah have world-class abilities?
Not world class, no. But what makes him world class is his consistency and his output throughout season on season, and in the big games. That's what Saka needs to do.
Also, his
If
finishing.
Saka wants to be world class, he needs to
Finishing
do
Hold
it.
on,
world-class.
guys. Hold on. Go ahead.
If Saka wants to be on the world class conversation, yeah, he needs to do what Salah is doing for Liverpool. That's what he needs to do.
Well,
But see what I mean?
tell him. Hold
No,
on.
no, but it's
hold
true
on.
though.
Well,
It's true.
hold
Do you
on.
know
Hold on.
Saka's DNA?
Ahmed, hold on. Well, give us the facts about Saka the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, so the facts about Saka the last 3 seasons, while they're not, in my opinion, world-class levels, because you have to be the best, right? Finishing in your in the top
Top
Right.
3.
year after year after year, which he's not doing worldwide, anywhere close to the top 3, top 5 players in the world in his position, but he's close, and he's been close consistently. Now, does Saka have that next gear where he starts hitting, golden boot-esque, flirting with golden boot, or getting 30 plus GA season after season after season in the league? We don't know yet. We don't
So
know
basically,
yet.
it's a no. It's a no, basically.
Right, but
Yeah, so everyone's agreeing with me.
talking about his world
No,
class.
hold on.
Like, you
The problem
have
is with
world-class
Ahmed's logic. Go ahead. The
You have
problem with Ahmed's
world-class
logic is
isn't
that when
about
I
showing
yeah, when I
moments
asked
of
when I
glory.
asked the logic, when I asked Ahmed about the logic, he said that Mohamed Salah doesn't have world class ability, but he put him in the world class because he consistently delivers. Mohamed Salah, in Ahmed's words, doesn't have always great performances. That's Ahmed's words. That's not mine. He said that on Husam's channel, on this channel before.
No
Saka is
player.
22 years old. Yes, Saka is 22 years old. He's already had 3 seasons with 20 plus GA already at 22 years old. Already. So that shows one thing. It's called consistency in the output.
Salah's
in
first
delivery.
season. Salah's first season. Do you think Saka's ever doing that for Arsenal?
I don't think anybody's ever doing that from the wing.
No,
That's the thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
That's what
hold
I'm
on.
talking about.
That's why Mohamed Salah is one of the best to ever play in the Premier League.
And that's
I think
why I
you're
don't think Saka's
misunderstanding.
going to do it. That's what I'm saying.
Can I ask a
But
question?
no one is
Was
saying
Saka,
that Saka's going to be Mohamed Salah.
was
No, but-
Saka clutch today? If Saka
This is
didn't make
crazy.
that cross and score the goal, we would have dropped points in our
Yeah,
first
but
game of the
Martin,
season. That's
to
a
answer
clutch
your
moment,
question,
right?
I think
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's
we're
the
being
first game,
disingenuous. Like for example, when Ollie brings up like Haaland takeaway or KDB's Champions League moments, and what did Saka do today? Was he clutch? Like you're playing at home against Wolves. I wouldn't like clutch for me and be consistently clutch would be like high pressure moments.
Well, you mentioned
Consistent.
Aston Villa at home. That's like almost like playing
So
Wolves at
that's
home.
what I'm trying to say, Mark. Because that game, you don't mention that game, because that game, if you'd won that game, arguably you would have won the league there, or like you'd have been like very, very close to it. And the
Yeah,
fact
but if
all your team,
we could do that with today's
Mane
game. Like, if
was
we lose the
world
game,
class.
lose
Sadio
Martin,
Mane
easily by 2
Martin,
points.
please don't do what nuance. Like, please, this is what I'm saying. Because you've won no trophies, I have to be critical in your team.
You don't
I'm
need
not
to belittle
trolling
me
you.
every time.
I'm not just
You're gonna
I'm not
belittle
just
me.
saying I'm not just saying this here for the sake of it. Going,
He keeps
you've won
rubbing it,
nothing.
bro.
He
No,
just
no,
keeps
I was
saying,
just
"Yeah,
thinking,
what
He
what-
did
keeps rubbing it every
Yeah, but
time.
what did they do?
It's fine because they're
I
starting
was
to catch
going
up.
somewhere
No
with
trophies.
Ahmed. I was going somewhere with the Saka
No,
thing.
I don't like when people
Okay,
like.
okay.
Not this time. I'm saying properly. What I'm saying is like in the clutch moments, you need those players to step up. And last season, none of your players did that. Else you would have won something. At least Man United, as much as we troll them, they stepped up when they needed to. It's facts.
But
Look at
okay,
Man
that's
City.
that's fine.
Okay,
That's
can I-
fine.
can I
That's,
answer that?
Ollie, one
Go on.
sec.
Can I
Man
answer that?
City all season, everyone's saying what? Not good enough. They're not playing that well. Foden stepped up. Rodri
Okay,
stepped
can I
up.
answer that? Can I answer that? Because
Where's the Arsenal players stepping up? Martin, tell me
I know
this
you won
season.
all the trophies. Let me
Who did-
answer you. Let
Martin,
me answer you.
Ask this question, yeah? Who this season do you expect to step up? You and Ollie answer. Like, I need to know who's going to win you the league. Because last
Okay,
season,
so
no one
to
did it.
win the league, you need 100 clutch moments that all need to be taken, right? If you do 98 clutch moments and you miss those 2, are they not clutch anymore? Or the other ones not count? Like you can't just sort of go back and revise history. If we don't win the league this season and because we dropped points against Wolves today, someone would be like, well, no one stood up, no one was clutch when he needed to get points against Wolves. So it's just about how you frame it.
Yeah, and also, and again, this and like I said, coming back to the original point about Saka, my thing is just that is like I said, if you're going to use logic or if you're going to use a way to gauge players, use it across the board. Like for example, like I've used Lamau, Nico Williams, 2 players that everyone's raving about, and I've heard people say things such as world class about them, even though they've only played for 1
Nick
season.
Williams is not world class. No, he's not.
Right, I have heard people say things like that about them, right? My thing is this, right? I don't think what Saka is world class. I don't think Arsenal got any world class players, but my bar would be used against all players. So I wouldn't say this player is world class, but this player is not world class, and then contradict myself. And the reason why Arsenal fans, I don't think we get triggered. I think to be honest, it's just people try to have a conversation about it, and we push back on this because what tends to happen is that the goalposts shift when it comes to Saka, and actually the goalposts shift when it comes to mostly to Arsenal players. It's like it becomes like, well, if he doesn't do this, then it's not that. And it's like, actually, no.
But what's wrong with just saying he's just good though? Like that's what I
No,
want to know.
I
'Cause
think-
the
I
thing
think
is,
it's
yeah,
a very-
Nothing.
Go on.
the thing is,
Go on.
like he played well today. He got the goal and he created the assist for what's his name, for Havertz. Yeah, so we'll see like how he does on a consistent basis throughout the whole games, because this is the first game. Do you get it? He's not a scrub, and he's not.
Five
He's
seasons
not,
of him
he's not
doing
every
this.
night, so, huh?
We've got 5 seasons. He's played for 5 seasons now, or almost 6 seasons, and from 3 of those, he's been at a level where he's won Young Player of the Year twice or once, once, and has played at a very consistent level. And let's be real, if Saka is not on the pitch, most people who don't support Arsenal will say it's actually probably easier to play against Arsenal. So already you know that you'd rather play Arsenal without Saka than play Arsenal with Saka. Yes or no?
Does that make him clutch though?
No, it doesn't. No, I'm still asking the question. Forget the clutchness. Would you
Yeah,
rather
obviously not. Yeah, you're right. But
so
doesn't
it
make him
shows.
clutch.
So he shows that he's a high quality player. So when people try to beat him down for something and move the goalposts, I'm just like, well, if we put in tomorrow, we're playing Chelsea tomorrow. We put in Nelson on the wing. You would be dancing and singing to the heavens, versus if you're playing against Saka.
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean anything. What you're saying is, if you put a lesser quality player in, you're going to be happier, obviously. And secondly, like, just because what you're saying is true doesn't mean he's clutch. That's all we're talking about. I don't think anybody in the stream has ever said he's an average player. We're hitting him down. Like, I don't think he's average. I think he's a very good player. He's not world class, I've also, but he's a very good player.
He's just a step under world
I
class.
just question when people overhype their players who don't win him.
Don't say I said Saka's world class. You're about to get me.
I never said you said that. I said you said he's not, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my thing is, I like if people overhype their players when they haven't won much and haven't shown much clutch moments to win stuff. So, for example, if he scores in all these Aston Villa clutch moment, like hyper situation, Bayern Munich and Arsenal lose, I'm not looking at Saka. I'm looking at other players. But when you don't win anything and all the players aren't stepping up,
just to let you know, Shez, in that Aston Villa game, he's the one who created 3 chances. Just to let you know.
Mo. You're using one example, and I use that example too. There's other examples.
You brought the example up.
I just talk about that one.
He had the most key passes in that game, by the way. He had the most key passes.
No,
he didn't win the league. So someone put it somewhere.
I think a good example is Liverpool.
It's not Saka then. Yes,
you brought the example
up. Mo. So each player, each team, right, that we look at, Real Madrid's, Cities, they don't have 1 or 2 stand-up players who they can rely on. That's not
the
true.
problem is the number.
But that was the question, guys. That was the question. Can Saka be now that guy? That's the question. Here you go.
My answer to that
we did all of this and we landed on the question.
How many
my answer will be, can he be the guy this season and get Arsenal to a title? I'm going to say no.
All right.
That's my answer.
I think the question is how many clutch players should a team have to put together a team that's going to win the league? Because you've seen it with a team like Liverpool. They have Salah, and if Salah doesn't come through, that's when they drop off and they don't win the league, right? Otherwise,
previously
Salah
they had Mane, I would say. Previously,
Mane and
Mane
comes through. By the way, even when Salah comes through, they don't win the league. Just listen to that.
You need more than that. You need more than one clutch player. You need like 4 or 5. And City have
exactly,
shown that.
I agree with that.
Just like Van Persie, innit? Just like Van Persie. Big up Van Persie.
Be quiet. And also, I'll go back to the again. I always come back to my example, which I love bringing my example up of Real Madrid, who had Zidane, Ronaldo, Beckham, Guti, bloody Helguera, all those players. Casillas couldn't win the league. They had all these players who you'd say were clutch, and they couldn't win the league for a number of years.
The best team.
Wasn't that more so to do with coaching, my brother? Wasn't that more so to do with coaching?
Barcelona.
It was a problem with Florentino Perez's system of buying expensive players and then getting rid of the guys who were actually doing.
Ronaldo, he only won the title twice in La Liga, like facing against Barcelona. Barcelona were just a freak. Like,
no, it wasn't Barcelona. No, it wasn't Barcelona. It was Valencia and Deportivo La Coruña. Yes. I was old enough to remember those. And it was basically they got rid of all the guys who were doing the dog work, and it just shows that actually this whole thing about clutch. You get these players who everyone would say are world class players, some of the greats in the pantheons of all footballers, clutch moments, and they still couldn't win the league, and for a long time couldn't win the Champions League. It doesn't denigrate their.
You need someone to do the dog work.
Let me do some of this. Palmer will prove he's best in the league tomorrow. Tanya saying, "We'll see."
Bring it on, Palmer. Let's do it. I'm rooting for it.
Glody saying he did it last season versus Chelsea to get the draw. That's Bukayo Saka.
A draw?
Or the cross to Trossard.
I've seen that finish 6th place with Arsenal don't rate, by the way.
Yeah, but still, look. In the game,
I rate Chelsea highly. I think you guys are amazing.
Martin's going to say something. Sorry.
Moment. That's still
Will, sorry.
Yeah, it's still a clutch moment, whether it's a draw or not. Right? You're losing a game. You to put in a performance that caused you to walk out of there with a point. That's still clutch. Right?
100%.
100%. Yes. Still, regardless if it's a draw or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wait,
is why they call it an equalizer. It literally is a clutch moment in the game.
sorry, guys. Sorry, I just realized something. Are we in the twilight zone? Because Will has been defending Arsenal and
I know.
so
Yeah, what's
much
going
to say
on?
that.
Will?
Well,
I want to give you a
you
hug.
forgot. Ollie, you forgot. He's a data analyst.
you a
He's a
hug.
data analyst.
I want to give you a
So
hug.
he's gonna validate
Bro, it's Microsoft.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna-
you took the Microsoft Excel, bro. You know what I mean?
Will
He's
come
back
to
in the
the,
data.
Will come to the UK so I can give you a massive hug because this is a new version of you.
Nah, this is a bubble.
Dirty,
Oh
right?
my
Dirty.
god.
Dirty.
We don't use the
You know
eyes
what I mean?
anymore, bro. Don't use
You
the
know
eyes
what I
anymore.
mean?
It's simply
Taran here is saying
that's all I ever care about is facts.
you're cutting out a little bit, Will, by the way. Saka will
All
never
I care
get
about
his
is
credits.
facts.
Yeah, Saka will never get his credits until he wins trophies. Like Kane hasn't gotten credit. That's just how it is. Can't change minds until trophies. I
Harry
think
Kane's
that's
still world
fair.
class, though.
That's true. To be fair.
Harry Kane's still world class, even
I think-
without trophies.
Yeah, but the problem is Harry Kane will never be compared to the elite guys who won Champions
that's what
League.
you said,
Of
yeah.
course.
League. Like he will never be put there because he chose not to leave. It's his
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
It's
Facts,
it-
facts, facts. This
it's
super
just-
chat's true.
yeah.
He
AMT saying,
won
but
nothing
what
with
was
Bayern
KDB
either.
doing? He couldn't win it with one.
Yeah,
What
this
was
logic
KDB
is-
doing at 23 years old?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this logic
KDB
is-
was at Gent in Belgium. So, but that
This
is not-
logic makes no sense, by the way.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know what this meant to mean. at
That's
all.
like saying, look what Giroud's doing. He's better than Wayne Rooney. That makes no sense. Like, because he's still going at like 39 or 38.
Super
But
Blue
he-
Chelsea. Why are Arsenal fans always insecure about their players? Big up Ches and Waffle Special. Ches and Waffle.
Big up.
It's
Are
not insecurity.
Arsenal
It's-
insecure about their players at all? I don't see
called-
it.
it's-
that way.
it's
I
called-
don't
it's
think
called
Oliver
debate.
Mark-
I see that.
They're very
By the way,
protective. They're
You
very
say,
protective of their players.
one thing, bro. Chelsea fans, we say one thing about Enzo. You guys wanted to kill us. Liverpool fans, we said one thing about Van
Trent.
Dijk or Trent.
Trent.
Oh my God, you don't know. You don't know football. You don't know watch football
So
with your eyes.
defensive, bro.
You're
Oh my
ignorant.
days.
Man United, just say anything about any player. Ahmed will back you because he thinks
Just say anything about -1, and all of a sudden he just goes off from one. Man.
Yeah.
You know, I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait until this. I can't wait until this season finishes, bro. You lot
You got
just
it again. You got it again.
I can't wait. You know,
You
I
got it
can't
again.
wait. Make sure you win.
He found the soft spot, man. He found his. What's it
No,
called?
but
Yeah,
make
his
sure
weak
you
spot,
lot win
man.
something.
That
I'm saying,
minus one gets
You know what I
to
mean?
man.
That's his Achilles heel, man. Man,
bro,
that's his Achilles
listen,
heel.
I beg Arsenal, you have
bro,
to do
if
something.
Man
like that.
United, I'm saying
They
it,
have to
if
do
Man
something.
United finish in the top 4, I'm fucking finished. I'm finished.
Yeah.
Wait, don't they
I
still have
put
10?
them 7.
If Arsenal don't win a trophy, Man United get top 4. It's peak. Like,
Or even in
it's
our worst,
long.
we still
Bro.
like won something in it. So
Don't you worry about us.
I
Worry
put my
about
neck
yourself.
on the
Jez.
line. I put my neck on the
I know,
said
I'm worried,
Arsenal win
man.
the
I'm
league.
worried.
I said Chelsea will get top 4. I said Man United
But
finish
you
7.
supposed
I
to
said,
get top 4. When was this?
yes. I'm back in Chelsea and I'm back in Arsenal this season.
nah,
Oh,
Chelsea
I
don't
didn't
have the
know you said that. I
defense.
didn't know you
man,
said
so-
that, Mo. Fair play.
Listen, man, don't worry, man.
I
We'll
don't
see what
know.
happens, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, even
Who's
I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
I think Chelsea. I think Chelsea will win tomorrow. Actually, I actually
Is
think
Felix
Chelsea will
playing?
win.
Mo, this agenda stinks.
No,
bro.
he's
Yeah,
probably gonna get announced. Like the
Well,
Healy goes
Ches
tomorrow.
thinks it's a poker face.
Nah,
Nah,
Mo's doing
I
reverse.
do think
Mo's
it's
doing reverse
fucking nice.
psychology, bro.
It's
Yeah,
not.
he's doing
Wallahi,
it.
go check the video.
And
of
then
my
when
channel.
we lose, I told you you were rubbish. I backed you, and you let me
No,
down.
no, no.
You know what's gonna say that?
Ah, man.
No,
we know
I
it's here
think,
to
I,
be,
think
man.
with,
Yeah.
I think with Pedro Neto, we're gonna talk about Chelsea. I think with Pedro Neto,
And Felix, by the way, Felix 34 million.
fuck off. This Felix guy is so over.
Oh, I'm happy. I like Felix. I like
bro. Bro, he's a compilation guy. Memphis Depay 2.0, bro. Memphis Depay again,
He's,
all over again, bro.
Again, for me,
Memphis
that's
Depay
that-
again, bro.
he's not my star. He's not my star
Compilations.
player. That
Bro,
Yeah,
that-
but he's
compilations.
better than that
dog.
guy that you were trying to get. What's his name? Omodi on that B-Tech flipping. I don't know, bro. He's awful, bro. He's better than him.
Oh, it's Morgan guys, nobody. It looks like Chelsea actually didn't want him. They were. I think
He-
Chelsea tried to trick. I think actually all of this is Chelsea trying to trick Atletico Madrid of taking Gallagher, telling them we're gonna take Omordion. And I think that Chelsea didn't think that Atletico Madrid will go back on their word and not take Gallagher. So now
Yes.
Chelsea are like, okay, we need to buy someone now. Let's negotiate for someone. We need Gallagher off. I said Super Blue, Saka's poor man Mahrez at best.
Mahrez is so cold, by the way.
No,
I mean,
that guy was-
if you're gonna be a poor man, if
Mahrez
you're a
is
poor man,
not only Mahrez is
Yeah.
world class. Like the
Yeah,
difference.
he
That
was-
guy was-
Well,
that guy was
like-
a footballer.
If
Exactly.
people don't remember 2015-16 season, just go and watch Riyad Mahrez.
Mahrez is
Oh
dumb.
It
my
was
God,
different
man.
world.
I could never talk to Mahrez. I'm sorry.
exactly.
Never
So
took Mahrez.
if Saka's a poor man's Mahrez, he's doing pretty good, to be
That's
honest.
true. That's true.
Yeah, I
Mahrez
agree.
is fucking
Because
crazy.
Mahrez is
Come on,
here. Mahrez is
Mahrez, is
You're
the
supposed to
one
do
who
better than that.
taught me about Ronaldinho style, you know, putting people on the floor, 3-4 guys while dribbling. It was fucking crazy.
Salah
In
is like
2016.
all-time great, yeah, cool. But Mahrez, I'm telling you, in the Premier League era with Salah, they're talking because Mahrez was too cold.
Yeah, the
We-
difference is
He won
Salah
the league
has
with Leicester,
records
Mo,
and
with
stuff.
Leicester. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's
That
like
by itself is
Exactly,
an
bro.
achievement. Him and Kante and Vardy are, for me,
That's-
this
Oh,
fucking
him and Vardy, that connection was crazy, man.
Bro.
Honestly,
Bro,
particularly
Mahrez
that season.
Mahrez
when
in his
Vardy
prime.
broke that record, I remember the Man United game when Vardy broke that record of Van Nistelrooy.
The volley.
Oh my god,
Oh, yeah, the
day
That
volley.
was it,
Oh, yeah,
bro.
yeah,
That
yeah.
volley, yeah,
glorious,
insane
that
volley,
day.
insane volley.
Oh,
I mean,
that
like,
assist
talk
with
about
Mahrez.
Talk about records, and no partnership has ever put up.
Oh, here we go.
Kane and
Oh,
Son.
Oh,
Here we go, man. Here we go,
In
man.
the history of the Prem.
And you still got
Boo.
Listen, man. Lampard drink McLean, man. Lampard drink McLean, man. Lampard drink McLean.
Everyone booing.
Seriously,
Boo.
Listen,
Boo.
let's
Insane.
before we end the show, let's
Nothing
talk
to
about
celebrate, bro.
we didn't speak about Manchester United for a bit before we touch on Chelsea. Ahmed, I spoke about Man United a lot for the last 2 days. Quickly, give me your thoughts about Man United under Erik ten Hag. Where are you finishing? Did you see the team improve, as some Man United fans said?
improvement. I don't see any improvements if we're being honest. Like, I'm happy we got the 3 points here, but listen, mate, flipping hell, bro. You know what it is, yeah, with this team, yeah, is that I've never watched a United game where it was convincing. They'll always make it a struggle no matter what. The thing is, one thing that I do like here is, you know, this Mazraoui guy. He surprised me. He had a quality debut, by the way. Quality debut.
he was
He's
good.
quality. Yeah. That he is, because there were so many people that were crying about Wan-Bissaka. I was celebrating, bro. And finally got a competent player that can actually drive with the ball and who's got a good touch. And defensively, he's actually underrated. He made the crucial block at the start where Adama Traore, to be honest, Adama in the beginning of the first 10 minutes, he was getting the best out of Alessandro, yeah? But for me personally, we created chances, but it was down to Fulham making mistakes, so hence why our XG was a lot higher. But overall performance, I've not seen any change. This is why when I kept it consistent during pre-season, that for me personally, we actually have decent players in this team, but it won't change unless this manager stays. Do you get it? Like, I think defensively, I think Maguire had a decent game. To be fair, there was a moment where Andres Pereira was 2v1. I thought there was about a score, yeah, but he fumbled it. Who else? Mason Mount, by the way, he had an absolutely awful game. Every touch, he kept losing it. Chelsea, literally, they gave us Gallagher 2.0. I want him gone out of the club. I still hate Chelsea for that. I thought he was awful. But yeah, Leno made some good saves. Leno made
You're
some
being
good.
harsh. I thought United played much better than last year, especially in the
Yeah, but
first
last
half.
year, the standard. That's because the standards are in the
Did
mud.
they really only did that? No,
No, they
Fulham
didn't.
wasn't
Yeah,
controlling that game.
The thing
they
is,
had-
yeah,
I
Oh,
feel
but
like you know
yeah.
what you know how they played, bro. I'll actually give you a good example. Yeah, I feel like they played the same way they usually do, except this time, yeah, they actually had more possession. It actually felt like they had possession, but they literally were playing the same way they do really under Ten Hag. That's what it felt like to me, bro.
It's the same style of football, yeah. But the one thing that one guy that I really want to shout out, yeah, because he's been getting so much stick from United fans, and I was backing him. It's Casemiro, yeah, because that guy, the amount of disrespect he was getting, and yes, he had some poor games last season, and his legs were never gone. I'm telling you, yeah, he should have had about 2 assists today. Yeah, Bruno should have had 2 goals. Casemiro, like, yeah, his passing might not be amazing, but that's never been his game. Do you get it? When you have a good system around him and you make the team more compact, yeah, and he doesn't have to cover for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players, there's a very good player in there. Yeah, Bruno wasn't good for me. I don't think he was good, but yeah, Zirkzee, when he came on, he was good. You know, the way he dropped in deep. You know, he didn't have that many touches yet, but he took his goal really well.
Took his goal. Yeah.
The reason why I like Zirkzee so much is because he's a different profile, and with Højlund, yeah, is that Zirkzee ability, yeah, on the ball is just light and day. Like he's way more.
You know why Zirkzee and Mazraoui look so good is because they haven't been tainted with the Manchester United buckets yet. They haven't been around the dressing room. Any new players that come in, they have that like fresh look about them, and then slowly over time they start to like lose the ability to do simple passes to the ball.
You know what I mean? They lose the
I don't
ability
know
to
what
defend.
Onana's doing either. Like I don't know. He's a
Yeah,
comedy goalkeeper.
Bro,
But sorry.
Nana somehow went to fucking Man United and freaking he sent his brother or something. The guy's kicking the ball to throw wins. He never did this, bro.
I said it from
Onana had a
last
good
season.
game, man. He had a good game. He had a good
I
game.
said it from
Bro,
listen,
what,
I've-
bro, forget good game. He literally kicking the ball to throw wins and stuff. Like he never did this with Inter or with Ajax.
Yeah, but that's because
What happened to the guy, bro?
I
that's
said it
because
last.
Inter.
United is just like United
that's
is just
because
like
you
it's
guys,
making
yeah.
his bad aspects look even badder.
That's
So
because
No.
Inter. That's because Inter, like they knew how to play and they knew how to like get the best out of Onana. With us, yeah, we're still playing transition, and Onana is a player where you play him in a position-based team. Look at Ederson for City. Sorry, same type of profile. Yeah, you don't really see Ederson get beat that much. You know, City don't really face that many shots. Onana faces.
Onana yesterday looked like the Bravcam, like kicking the ball. Bro. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Listen,
I'll
all
be
I'm saying
honest,
is,
man.
I know.
And the
I
thing
know-
is, Ahmed,
Oh,
they
yeah.
had possession this time, bro. We had possession, a lot of possession this time. So like,
Andreas
we didn't even
Pereira
need to-
was like
yeah, bro.
saved
Yeah, but
you
the thing
guys.
is, yeah,
Double agent,
dumb.
bro. Double agent. Andres Pereira
But,
getting paid by
listen,
Man United. bro.
I've always said about
Kobe was quality as well.
I've always said about Onana basically like, listen, Martin knows my agenda on Onana, and I've said what my goalkeepers need to look like, and the only person right now who's annoyingly defying it is Raya, but I will get him eventually. But listen, I see three
Oh
tax
my
on goalkeepers. I see three tax on goalkeepers basically. That's just my thing.
God.
But listen, when
You're
I
not
come back
even
to
lying, man. You're not even lying, bro.
but coming back to Man United, actually no, I thought in the first half especially, it looked like actually when you were squeezing Fulham up the pitch and you actually had more control of the ball, which is very different. And actually when Fulham broke, I mean a few times they did break, and you know, listen, Traore is a beast, and if he gets to full speed, there's no stopping him, right? But actually the shape of the team wasn't as bad as it was last season. Now, maybe it's the first game and maybe the old habits will come back again. But actually, I thought first half especially, you were actually much better. I think second half, okay, no, I lie.
I'll say
First
first
10
half
minutes,
we wasn't good.
first-
Second half we was
no.
a bit better.
so I mean, first 10 minutes you weren't good. Fulham played well, and then they just sort of
Oh yeah,
They
I
had a-
want to say about
they had a
Rashford. real
brain
quick.
fart.
Yeah,
Oh.
Rashford. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
This guy is.
You
He's not.
really hit the guy. You really hit the
No,
guy.
He's just trying to crush it.
Stinky.
Rashford. Listen, I remember Mo asking me a question. Would you sell him? And I said, absolutely, yeah, bro. The thing is with Rashford, he's like I've said it so many times. Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. This guy relies on emotions when it comes to playing football. When he's really happy, he plays really well for like good 2 months. When he's like not feeling it, he's really bad. He only averages about like 9 goals a season as well on average. So that's not really good. I don't
It
think.
almost feels like he's not part of the team. Like there's Rashford,
Yeah.
and then there's 10 other players.
Oh,
and
and
you give it to
Garnacho cameo
Rashford,
as
and
well,
he's
by the way. Holy moly,
Yeah.
that
All I'm
guy.
s-
Yeah. Oh
All
my
I'm saying,
days.
you Man United fans deserve it for that season of seeing this all the time, and you guys absolutely.
Remember every game. Remember every game you were scoring that purple pack.
Yeah,
bro.
you
You
guys-
guys- You used to
you-
annoy
or
me
you-
so much as well. You
Yeah,
just
but that's
annoy me
because
all the time.
Rashford's
Oh, that
Rashford
annoyed
and
me, bro.
Arsenal is cash money, bro. That's why.
No. For that
It's true.
No,
for that
no.
2.5 month, you guys were literally driving me insane because every bloody 5 seconds you just see this, and I was like, he's not that good. So
Nah, but
You do-
listen, Kobe. I think Kobe as well. Like one part of his game that actually was a bit separate. Like obviously he was covering quite well defensively. He was quite good. I thought Kobe was quite good to be fair. But overall, if you're going to tell me, have we improved from last season? I don't think we've improved that much personally. I think that it's a bit worrying how we're not dominating teams like Fulham. Teams like Fulham, we should be dominating. We shouldn't be conceding that much on the counter attack. And yeah, man, I'm still worried, man. I'm still worried.
Yeah, let me do the super chat. Bjorn here is saying a great show, well done, and some interesting games tomorrow. Yes, guys, more Chelsea. A little bit of preview of Chelsea and Man City tomorrow. Apparently, no Rodri. Okay,
Come
As
on,
we
Chelsea.
said.
You got this. You got this.
You got
Come on.
this, Chelsea.
You got this.
you guys have to win.
In the
this, bro.
Sassy we trust,
First
man.
game of
Defensively.
Leicester.
Come on.
This Arsenal's not going to be playing, bro. He's still injured, so the heart is.
Oh, mate. Well, flipping hell. Yeah, good luck to your defense.
Does
Then.
Chelsea have any chance? Does anybody think Chelsea have a chance? Honest.
I think they'll score. I think they'll score against Man City. Yeah, but Chelsea defensively, I don't trust them at all. City will score goals. City will win the game.
yeah,
They
I
drew
think
twice with City last season, right?
no, but I think it depends also. Sorry, I'll very quickly. I think it depends on what sort of Chelsea turn up tomorrow. If it's pass, and you try to outpass Man City, I think that's gonna be a long day for Chelsea. I think if they do similar to what they did last season, where they actually just made City run, make City just run and do chaos ball, I think they got a chance. But if Maresca sticks to his principle, in the same way Arteta in the beginning stuck to his principles that were trying to pass around Man City, and you're not ready for that yet, long day.
Cole Palmer going back home, slapping a couple of goals in. I can see it.
No, it's actually
We won.
it's
It's
not
actually,
going back home. It's
That's
at Stamford
Stamford Bridge.
Bridge.
No, it's at Stamford
Oh,
Bridge
Stamford.
actually. Yeah,
You're
but,
manifesting it.
Yeah, but going home to like his, his
Yeah, I
ex-boss,
know,
his
yeah.
ex-boss.
Martin's trying to manifest it. Is what he's trying to do.
Hey man, I love to see a team that doesn't want to lie
But he
down.
said, but he said Pedro Neto's not gonna start. He's not gonna play. He's not.
No, he said
Never-
maybe,
never-
maybe
never
not
said
actually.
that.
Yeah, he
He
said
maybe he's
maybe
gonna
not.
be on the bench. You know that he's gonna start with
Yeah.
him. Kung Fu
It's probably
Jackson.
going to be Sterling. I think Sterling's probably going to play. Like, if we be honest,
Let's,
he
Sterling.
let's,
turns
see,
up.
let's see how clutch Palmer
Sterling.
is.
Yeah, Sterling's probably going to start left wing, innit? And then it's going to be Palmer on the right. What is he?
Yeah, let's see how clutch Palmer is.
It's gonna be Jackson up
I'll-
top and Kung Fu on the left.
No, Jackson, I don't think he's going to start. I don't think Jackson's going to start. I think it's going to be the other kid, Mark Gui, because Jackson's not ready yet. So he's only played like a few minutes of preseason.
Where isn't Kunku gonna play?
Probably behind him. Probably behind him in that 10.
So,
Gui.
I get
You're gonna play Gui up top.
Who's
Nah,
that?
yes.
Who's that?
What the fuck,
think-
bro? I don't think I have
No,
a chance.
Because the last time he
think he's
played
rushed out.
Cuckoo in the 9 was against
Oui,
actually
oui.
Man City in preseason, and it didn't necessarily work out for us.
I swear that's
Mo-
a Crystal Palace centre back.
You're gonna play Gui on Raheem Sterling and you expect him to win.
He played.
Mo, wait, Mo. Listen, Bowley figured it out. They're going to play 4-4-3.
Oh, okay.
They've finally got enough
Yeah,
players to play 4-4-3. He said 2 years ago that was
That'd
going to
be bad,
happen, and
James.
finally it's going to happen. So tomorrow we're going to see all the players, all 45 players, play on the pitch.
So what's your starting 11 predicted? What's
Chez,
your?
can you give me Chez, go ahead.
Starting 11. Come on.
What's your
Starting
predicted
11.
You were
starting
gonna say something.
Sorry,
Oh, I was gonna say Martin Gui played against Inter Milan in the first half, and then Jackson came on. So I think Jackson will start. Then Gui will come.
I
off
don't
the
think
bench.
he's,
Yeah, I
bro.
think
That's he only had 45 minutes under his belt, bro. I don't know if he's going to be ready enough to actually start. Like,
But I think I
you know
don't
what I
think he'll trust Gui to start from the front.
Nah,
I
but who
do.
is Gui though? Who is Gui? I've never heard of him, honestly. Who is
Wait,
Gui?
wait,
He's,
wait, wait.
It's
he's a
great.
guy we
Striker.
brought from Barcelona. Striker we brought from
On the
Barcelona.
striker, yeah, he's actually quite good.
Oh, okay.
To be honest,
again.
he looks good. In the
He looks
preseason,
good.
he looked okay.
Yeah.
He
He
definitely
looks good in
compressed.
preseason.
He's good technically. He's just shooting. We haven't seen much of it. He
he's got,
scored.
good
a
off
goal.
the, he's got a good off the ball running as well.
Yeah, he's got a good.
You know
off
the
ball.
problem is gonna be who are the two defenders they're gonna start? It's gonna be Colwell and Fofana.
Jesus,
I don't think.
Christ.
I think it'll be a
our
back three. I think it'll be a back
Okay.
three, you know.
I think our defense being crap is overstated, because I don't actually think these are bad defenders. I think the issue is that defenders we've got, which I agree with, been injured, so you can't really judge them and rate them because you haven't seen them. But I don't think, like, quality wise, they're poor defenders, and I should be worried about them. But I do hear the argument they haven't played together. We haven't had a stable back four for like 2-3 years. So people questioning our defense, I agree with. I just don't think it's as bad as everyone makes out. Like, they're crap players.
No,
Are you-
they're
I
not.
just don't-
They're
I
not.
just
They're
don't
not.
think
Are
they're
Enzo?
not-
So let me ask you: is Enzo going to be in the bench? Is it going to be Lavia and Caicedo?
We don't know the starting 11, Mo. Our team is so interchangeable. Like, we actually don't know.
Sanchez,
only-
Either way,
yeah.
Maresca's been saying they've been experimenting a lot, so we have to see what the experiment
Exactly.
needs
Every
to be.
single game,
Maybe,
Mo, this
maybe he can
preseason-
experiment tomorrow as well.
No,
No,
every
no,
single
let's not-
game-
let's
right
not-
thing you said.
Let's not,
That was
man,
the
let's
most
not,
right
man.
thing you said all show, man. Average players, a bunch of average players are interchangeable. You're right.
Mo.
Oh,
In
oh,
preseason, you played a different team every single game.
I like this, Will.
Like,
listen, man, just don't.
I get what you're saying,
Chad.
Chez, but now is the time to have a starting 11.
Is
that's set,
Caicedo
like
back?
everyone
Like,
is-
gee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Caicedo is
Caicedo's
back.
back.
He's played like a game and a half in
I might. I
preseason.
couldn't tell who's
Yeah,
going to start
Caicedo's
midfield.
good.
I genuinely couldn't tell who's the front midfield was going to play. I actually don't know.
So
Goalkeeper Sanchez.
The only
Sanchez
player
as well.
I know
Sanchez, I
to
can
start
guarantee.
is
Palmer.
He's definitely not going to
Palmer?
start that other guy.
Yeah, he's not
I'll
going to
tell
start.
you
We
who's
need to have
going to
Sanchez to have a stinker. Sanchez have a stinker
Yeah.
first, then we can get the other guy.
Who are fixed? Chez, Palmer,
I think
Malo
I'll go from the back to front in it. I think Sanchez will play.
awesome.
In Cole, Fofana, Gusto, Cucurella. He'll invert.
Yes.
If I had to guess in midfield, I'd probably say Caicedo, Lavia. I think he'll play Caicedo and Lavia. Lavia is the base. Caicedo is like the 8,
Yeah.
and then he'll play like 2 wingers.
He has to
And
play
not
Jude
10
Bellingham.
on the
He's
side.
going to play with 4-3-3. I didn't think
I don't-
he has the guts to play 4-4-2 as you guys play, or 4-3 or whatever.
I said
4-3-1.
4-3-1. 4-2-4.
Like whatever,
4-2-4.
4-2-4.
He's
I don't
played
think he's gonna do that.
This is
Diamond
FIFA.
before.
I don't
Yeah,
think he's
played
gonna do that.
Hmm.
I don't think he's gonna play 4 strikers, guys. 4-4.
Well, you know what? This game will show me how tactically like fluid he is. If he goes more like not defensive, more structured, then that's actually quite a good sign for me. If he goes
Ahmed,
to,
why
like,
is you starting 11? Go ahead.
I'll
I
probably
wanna hear
say
the starting 11.
Sanchez in goal. Then I would say Fafana. Fafana, Cole, Kukurea. I think you're probably gonna get Lavia probably starting alongside.
you forgot Gusto.
No, so I'm saying Gusto's gonna invite in my personal opinion.
Oh,
so
yeah,
probably Lavia, Gusto, and I think Nkuku's gonna start there, and then it's gonna be Sterling, Palmer, and then I think striker will probably actually be Gui. I'm just gonna tell it right now. I think he's gonna start Gui in this game.
Sorry. So I want to come back to a point that Cher said about your defenders, right? I
Mhm.
don't I agree with you. Your defenders are not bad technically. I think the problem with your defenders is that they shut off like in random moments. So that ball to the back post just catches them out so easily. And that's the biggest problem with Chelsea. I think that's why people say Chelsea's defense is poor. Because it almost feels like they just their brains just shut off for a second and then players get behind them so easily. And I think that until that's rectified, and maybe it's a mental thing, maybe it's a thing that Maresca can coach out of them, which I don't think is going to be coachable, because I think once you get to a certain age, it's difficult to coach certain tendencies out of these players. But we'll see how good a coach he is. But that is the problem. And I think if you have someone like Haaland who's running behind that defense and they're not switched on for 90 minutes, like I said, it's
Do you know what it is? I actually don't necessarily. I don't even necessarily think it's that's the case. That's just it. I think for me, a lot of the guys we have are very, they're not the aggressive types, innit? Disasi, I would say, is an aggressive type of defender. The Vega guy that we've got is an aggressive type of defender. But like the other guys, a bit more like, they kind of like maneuver the defender out. They're not necessarily, trying to be, aggressive, going for tackles and stuff like that. So that kind of makes them quite passive as players, right? So I think for me, it's more so just about being more proactive as a defender.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be.
Because
Saliba is not aggressive in any way, shape, or form.
No, but like the point I'm trying to make though is because
the system, Ahmed. Problem is the system, Ahmed.
I feel like they're too passive though. But for me,
the coach hasn't figured out the best to get out the best way to get out of every defender, because every defender is different. The way the coach set up this defense, this guy stands here, this guy, the distance is short, this guy can cover this much ground. He doesn't know yet. That's why he's trying.
Maybe this week, man. Maybe this, maybe
hopefully tomorrow. But listen, guys. I was gonna just finish the show.
No. I was just gonna say that basically that there's examples in history of defenders who are not aggressive who are really good. So you say the likes of Cannavaro.
Yeah, but the best defender in the Premier League is not the best defender to ever play in the Premier League is not aggressive.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not even saying they need to be aggressive. My argument. Argument is not they don't need to be aggressive.
It's not aggressive at all, by the way.
Yeah, they don't need to be proactive. Yeah,
it's all about this.
I'm just trying to say, guys, just be a bit more proactive. It's not even about being aggressive. A bit more proactive is the word I would use. Maybe that's the right term to use.
Sorry. Someone said Enzo taking the knee tomorrow. Cool.
What did Maresca say about Chilwell? That he needs to find another club or something?
Yes,
that's a real quote.
That's a real quote.
Chilwell needs to get out of here.
Usually I would say it is crazy, but I feel like respectfully, Chilwell, obviously the injuries have not helped him. He's lost the level that he was at previously, and as well, he just does not fit. The system we're in. He can't invite.
Ever since the Champions League, this guy's been like on the bench, either injured, not offering when he plays, not offering anything. It's not like he's telling like a good player in Cuckoo out the squad. This Chilwell guy's been needed to go for like a long time.
Yes.
Seems like
the thing is, I actually think Chilwell is a good player.
He needs to go. He's not a bad player, but not for.
He just lost his level, bro. The Achilles and the ACL injury back to back. He lost that where he used to be level, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I want to appreciate everyone that joined us. The guys' channels are in the description. The Bridge, Shez, Ahmed, Man United, and Dai's channel. This stream will take you to Ahmed, where he's going to talk about Chelsea tomorrow or something. He's going to say with Ches that Chelsea are going to win, make top 4, something like that. But listen, I want to appreciate everyone that joined us. Appreciate the great stream, first stream of the Premier League. Fantastic panel. Great to have each and every one of you. Fantastic guys in the comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're out of here, people.